Sorry about that. Oh, John, what the fuck's happened now? Hang on.
I'm the main attraction because I'm the icon. Yeah?
Sorry about the intro video. I clicked the wrong one. I didn't mean it to be quite so chirpy. But yes, welcome to the Claret and Booze Up. Obviously, we're doing it Saturday night because we're going to do the match review and player ratings and stuff like that. As we all know, if you saw me match reaction earlier on, you know we all saw West Ham lose 2-0 to Leicester. I was watching on TV. Gary and John were over there today. So John, starting with you. How are you, mate? How are you feeling?
I'm all right, mate. I'm strangely in a good mood. I know a lot of people agree, actually, which I thought people wouldn't because the result is important. But I was happy with the performance, funnily enough. I felt we played well in parts and most of the players.
We played better. It was better.
Okay, played better, whatever you want to phrase it. But it was far better than the Palace game. Most of the players stepped up. So yeah, I'm strangely optimistic. And you know, there's a lot of rumours flying about now about Moyes, but we don't know what's going to happen. But the worst bit about it was 2 hours to get home on the A12. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I know. I heard about that. Gary, what about yourself?
Yeah, I was in Manchester last night having a drink.
Was that why you had a little nap when you got home?
Well, yeah, I drove back this morning and I got back about 12:20, 12:30, and then I went over to the game. I agree with John, actually. I thought it was a much improved performance. You know, we huffed and puffed. We didn't create much, did we? But we showed intent.
The stats will tell you otherwise, but we didn't create anything meaningful. Not really.
We showed intent. We showed intent to push forward from the off, actually, from the start of the game. And you know, I came out of there feeling, a similar way, not pissed off, because if I felt like the players had put in a shift, right?
Yeah.
And that's really all you want.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing about it is the result was so predictable, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was it. I mean, how can you? It's like me. I don't know if you saw me match reaction. You'd probably be expecting for me to be raging, but do you know what? If it was the most predictable result to lose 2-0 to Leicester, and if you're expecting that, which I genuinely was, how can you? It kind of just happened. And although it was a better performance, it wasn't enough. And I'm kind of left now because obviously, look, and I want Moyes has got to go. I'm adamant he's got to go. My stance hasn't changed. However, because now I do believe it's actually going to happen. Look, we've had news that there has been a board meeting called an emergency board meeting tonight. It's looking like David Moyes could well be making them. We can't say that is going to happen. No, but it's looking like that could be happening now. What that's kind of left me with is I don't know. I'm happy in one respect, but I'm also a little bit sad because it's an end of an era. And I watched West Ham Fan TV last night. I watched the Friday night pint.
Yeah.
And Ryan on there is very much Moyes in. He loves David Moyes. He does. Yeah. And he gave a really passionate kind of piece on. He gave his side of it. And he said about, you know, some of the abuse that he gets on Twitter when he is positive about David Moyes, similar to the sort of thing that maybe I would get if I go Moyes out the other way. But what it makes you realise is when you see Ryan, who was clearly right. No, but what it makes you realise is when you saw Ryan is it's we're all the same. We all care about the club. We've just got different opinions. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is, you know.
Yeah, but that's the same. But that's the same as any of us three on here, because me and Gary have been Moyes in longer than you've been Moyes in. If you know what I mean. And everybody's patience and tolerance wears things at different times, and that's it.
I know. So I do believe truly, irrespective of what messages come out, irrespective of what Mark Noble says on fucking TalkSport or Stuart Pearce says on TalkSport or what other messages have come out. At the end of the day, there's been a massive investment that has gone into this club in the summer, 180 million. That's the third highest amount spent in the world in the summer that has been spent in this summer transfer window. There is by no means any return coming on that. In fact, there's a risk that money that's been invested is depreciating because the players are getting worse.
Yeah,
it's not just down to David Sullivan anymore. There's a lot of people on that board now. There's pressure. I think it would be a miracle if David Moyes survives it. I'll be honest. I don't want him to survive it, but at the same time, I think we're at a stage now when he does go. I think this would be good because I don't think he's kind of killed his legacy at this point. I don't think he has. I don't think he's outstayed. No, I don't think he's outstayed his welcome, John. I think if he was to leave, but what I mean is, I think if he was to leave at this point, I think most fans, even the ones that are staunch Moyes out, will look at what he's done and go, do you know what? He's done a good job for us. You know, you look at it fondly.
What's changed then?
No, but what I mean is, if it was to run, if it was, we would end up. Basically, he could get us relegated, John.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he definitely could. It definitely could. It's the reality of the situation. And look, going back to the sort of interactions,
and then we're not going to look at him fondly at all.
The interactions that we have with different people, you know, when you admit that you're Moyes in or you're Moyes out or something like that, you know, there are a number of people on Twitter, especially, who just want to shut the conversation down.
Oh, fuck, they don't. Both ways.
You know,
both ways.
There was a guy tonight. I won't say the Twitter handle, but he basically said, after that performance, anyone that wants Moyes out deserves to be sectioned. It's like you're just discounting a whole swathe of people who are entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah.
So keep it to yourself. Don't go over the top. Let other people say what they believe.
You haven't got to keep it to yourself, Gal. But what I'm saying is, when somebody posts something on Facebook or they post something on Twitter or they say something on this. Now, look, when we put our comment out there, in the way that we do, we've got to expect to be disagreed with.
Yeah,
mate.
Of course.
You know. But if you're just posting a comment on Twitter or something like that, if you don't agree with it, you don't have to go on the fucking manhunt to basically try and change people's mind. If you believe something different, then post something different on your own Twitter feed.
Yeah, but
post a different comment. You ain't got to try and force people and change their minds.
Yeah, but Nick, the only thing is, mate, right? The only thing I'd say to counteract that is this. I don't post a lot on Twitter because Twitter's, I think you've said it, Twitter's
not really
the thing a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is if I post my opinion and someone disagrees, I'm not going to get offended about them disagreeing. I think some people get very offended by someone disagreeing. That's what annoys me a little bit.
But some.
I know there's a way of doing it.
No. There's a way of disagreeing, and some people, as Gary just said, sometimes people look. I'm not being funny. I'm not going to use a C word, but some people on Twitter are basically they are. They are literally. It is like they are like fucking bottom feeders on that platform. You get all the anonymous scum from society that come on there to basically have a go and be really, really nasty to people, and I don't think it's right. Now, I say, if you want to say something, at the end of the day, people can disagree with me, but I've got bollocks enough to come on screen with my face, with my name, and say what I'm thinking. Yeah. Don't go on Twitter with an anonymous fucking handle and start giving it Billy Big Bollocks with your fucking keyboard.
No, that's true. And also, I've just got to say one thing as well. So there's that part where, look, if someone is Moyes in, it's like I stand with Paul, my cousin at football, right? He is 100% Moyes in. I ain't refusing to stand with him, right? He's entitled to that opinion. He's entitled to that opinion. And some people are just and I can see his point of view when he says, look at what he's done for us for the last couple of years. And that is ingrained in a lot of West Ham fans because of all the crap that we've had to watch over the years, right? So it's been relative glory over the last 2 seasons. So
hurrah!
Yeah. So for a lot of people, relative glory. So for a lot of people, people are absolutely grateful for Moyes for doing that, and I am grateful for Moyes for that as well. You know, if he went, I would feel sad, but at the same time, I do think it's time for him to go. But I would feel sad for him, and I would feel. But I'm very, very grateful.
Have you seen the clips of him? Have you seen the clips of him after the game? He looked fucking broken.
He
looked broken.
Mate, when it went 2-0, I was just watching him, and I don't think he moved. He stood in the same place he always stands.
He's broken. He's done.
And you know what? Look, at the end of the day, right, and this is my argument, a bit like what Gary's said there, Nick, right, is this.
Yeah.
You know I've been Moyes in. I do now think it's time for him to go, not because any other reason than I just don't want him to ruin the legacy or whatever you call it. I know people are going to go, oh, it's just Europe. I don't care. Gary's it the now on the head. For me, that is relative success by our standards. And that's why my biggest thing, Nick, I'm sorry, was the language used to, like Ryan on West Ham TV said, the language used towards him.
But John, if we're being honest, right, that language used towards David Moyes, you're talking about a real handful of people.
Yeah,
I'm saying, John, a handful of people that don't represent the West Ham fan base. Most people, I haven't gone on there. I've said Moyes out. I haven't gone on there fucking absolutely abusing him as a person. I basically don't think he's a good manager. That isn't me attacking him personally at this point. And no, look. I've said he is a good manager, but I don't think he's the right manager to take us forward. That has been my argument. That's why I want him to move on. I'm not attacking him as a person. I don't like what he did with the fans, but by the looks of it, you could probably say he's cracking under the pressure, you know, when he called us all fucking experts and stuff like that. Because I'll tell you one thing he couldn't do today, because I heard it. I wasn't there. You two were, but you'll probably confirm it. But the experts were in full voice today, and they were behind that team, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
you can't blame us.
It was intermittent, but you know, for instance, it was quite. We were quite loud at the start, and we got behind them, and then the goal went in on the 8th minute, and it kind of knocked the wind out of ourselves. But then we kind of regrouped and started singing again, and it was little pockets of singing. It wasn't a whole stadium. It was at times, but it wasn't a whole. It was little pockets of singing, and it was pretty good. I mean, what I'd say is the recent atmospheres over there have just been dead. I mean, they've been totally flat. Today was not flat. Yeah, but we tried.
Yeah, and I think today a lot of the fans made a conscious effort to try and lift the players from the off.
Because... But hang on, John, 1 minute. People are saying, what's the number? I'm getting a phone call now. We're not taking phone calls yet. We'll be taking phone calls once we've spoken about the game. We'll do the player ratings. Then we'll take phone calls in the next section. All right. So
probably about an hour. Probably about an hour.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of time, and we'll start taking calls.
Yeah. But yeah, look, you got to respect Moyes what he's done, and you know, and you got to respect the man on a human level, right? So, and that's what I always feel. You know, whether I agree, it's like goes for work as well, right? Even if you think someone is not very good at their job, it's always sad on a human level to see them lose their job. And the same goes for David Moyes as well, right? And I think abuse of him, personal abuse, is unacceptable. No, but then again. You know, personal abuse of anyone is unacceptable. It's just not right. Yeah.
But I think for me, like I said to you, I will be far more willing to reflect on the past 2 years once we're out of this current situation that we're in now, because I live in the now, and I'm worried about the now, and I'm worried about the future. I'm worried about us getting relegated. Now, once this is done, which it looks like it is done, you will not get any argument from me, John, to reflect on David Moyes' time with us, and I will say yes, he was good. But my issue is, John, my issue is when people use that as a reason to keep him and basically risk us getting fucking relegated now. No way, I'm not having that.
No.
I'm not having that at all.
No, that's fine. But my argument is that in all their discussions through this, it's only taken you until now to almost admit that he's done a decent enough job.
No, John, that is absolute bollocks, mate. I've said it on so many videos that Gary, I've said it on so many videos. Yeah, no, you can do that, mate. But I've said it on so many videos that I will never take away what David Moyes has done.
Joking.
No, you're not joking. You're trying to do your fucking thing again. At the end of the day, mate, this is flip flop. It was Moyes. You was Moyes out, and you was Moyes in, then you're Moyes out again over the space of a week. At the end of the day,
whoa, really?
Yeah,
really?
Absolutely, really.
Oh wow!
So
it's going off. It's going off.
Going off. So literally, I have not said that, and I will not fucking have that. Look, John's he's going to kick his cat. He ain't even got a cat. But no.
Yeah. I think he did make a good point there, though, John. And this is something that I believe as well, and that is that we want to preserve David Moyes' legacy, and the longer this goes on, right, the worse his legacy becomes, and the angrier people become, and his legacy gets tainted. And I don't want to see that legacy tainted. No, right. So I think now is the right time.
Yeah. There is a legacy. I've said so many times. He's laid foundations. He's done more than just save us. He's come in. He's laid good foundations. He's done phase 1 amazingly. He really has. I just don't believe that he can do phase 2. Well, I know he can't do phase 2. That is my personal belief. Look, I say I know. That's arrogant. I believe strongly that he can't do phase 2. That's why I am the way that I am.
We all wanted him to do phase 2 and be able to do phase 2. But I think, you know, and John, you and me went to the game today, and you know, you got to say that Scamacca and Paquetta look like they're going backwards rather than forwards, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're waiting for this magic transition. What the transition? They're getting worse.
Yeah,
they're getting worse. They're not getting better. I don't know, and that's the thing. But I will say, I kind of I was very upset. So I was upset today. I weren't angry. I was upset. I was kind of satisfied with the performance. I weren't like amazingly happy with it. But I was satisfied with it because we I think we started out quite naive, but I can't really pick them apart for that because we tried to basically what we tried to do was we tried to get after them. We tried to sort of press them high. For 24 minutes, they had 73% possession until Maddison went off. Those are the facts. That is what happened. Maddison went off. We did start well. We had 2 minutes at the start where we looked promising, and then we could not get the fucking ball off of them.
I did notice that at the game, actually, John.
We couldn't get the ball off of them.
And that was when Maddison went off the pitch. Leicester are a different proposition.
Oh my God! What a player he must be! What a player he must be!
What I'm saying is, no, that's obvious, Nick. When they lose their best player, it's going to make a difference. But that's not our fault, is it?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that was a bonus when it came off. And to be fair to us, we did capitalise on it. But but I will say there was, and there are genuinely so many positives. And as you said on a WhatsApp message earlier on, John, it's what I reflected on in the video earlier. Anyone that has had any concerns about Declan Rice as a captain today, that is fucking put to bed because he's going to a World Cup, right? And I will say this about Maddison: as good as Maddison is, there's fuck all wrong with him. He went off to save himself because he's going to a tournament. Now you can justify it, but you know what? Declan Rice ran his fucking arse off, throwing himself into challenges up and down the pitch, lung busting. His heart is in this club. And it's killing him more as much as it is us. This is so that performance from Declan Rice, and you know what, Benny, who's been shat on more than any other West Ham player. That bloke, whenever he got the ball to that, I know there's not always end products. I know that there never will be with any creative player, but he's the only player in that team where he gets on the ball and you're like, oh, you think. And today he was on it, wasn't he? He was really on it. And if you'd think if there was one player that wanted Moyes out, it'd be him. But he's well, it's true though, isn't it?
I know. I just felt when you watch, I didn't expect any different from Declan Rice, but when you watch him, the day before he flies out to Qatar, because I think they fly out tomorrow, he was busting the gut to try and get the game by the scruff of the neck. He could have, the way he was running back, he put in tackles.
It was unbelievable.
Right, he could have pulled a hamstring at any time. He could pull a muscle at any time. There was absolutely no let up. And I know people have questioned these leadership, these captaincy credentials, and maybe I have to some extent. But today's performance, not only on the level of being a West Ham captain, but being on an ultimate, the most professional you could ever see from a player. Yeah. You know, it's his first World Cup. His first World Cup's looming. He's fighting.
Even Kane limped out the other day. He came off.
He was amazing. I mean, I second that. He was all over the pitch. He literally covered every inch of that pitch, and he was getting forward. He was trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck. He was defending. He was making blocks. There was nothing he wasn't doing. Right? No. He really did lead by example today. And I think you said in your video earlier that you give him a 10 out of 10 today. Well, I think 100%. I think it's going to be close, right? It's going to be close.
Yeah. He was. I don't think he could have done any more than what he did. The only thing I will say is, we'll touch on it. We're not going to go through it step by step, but at the end of the day, for 25 minutes, like I say, we were trying to press them high. For 2 minutes, we was good, but then we couldn't get the ball off of them. We were set forward. We was trying to press them high, but what was happening was we was being overrun in the middle of the park at that point. At that point, Rice and Souček were being basically completely outgunned by Maddison, Tielemans, and the other guy that they've got, the holding midfielder. I can't think of his name now. But we couldn't get the ball off of them, we were playing a high line. Now Carer's getting fucking pelters. We was playing a high line where we was, but we weren't cutting these balls off at source. I was playing defense splitting passes through the middle, putting Carer in a foot race with someone that's quicker than him. How the fuck is that Carer's fault?
Yeah, I wasn't. I got to say that I wasn't impressed with Carer.
No, but it wasn't his fault. That him getting roasted in a foot race with someone that's quicker ain't his fault.
There are things that you do to compensate as a fullback if someone's quicker than you, and that is.
But if your instruction is to play a high line, which it clearly was.
Well, yeah, I sort of get it, but I put some of that down to Carer. Right, he's a very experienced international fullback. and he didn't play like an international fullback. In fact,
no, he wasn't.
Sometimes
good.
he doesn't even look like a fullback. Right?
No, Gary, can I say something? He actually isn't a fullback. He's a centre back. He's played at fullback for a few clubs. He isn't a fucking right back. He's a centre back that we've moved out there because Soufal and Johnson have been shit.
But he's played at right back predominantly for Germany, though.
He has. That's
he plays right of a free, or he plays a wing back, John. If he plays at a right, because he's good going forward. So what he'll do is he rarely plays at the right back of a 4. He'll play a right wing back. Right back and right wing back are two completely different positions.
Yeah, I know. But needless to say, I think Gary's hit the nail on the head when he said that, as an experienced international defender, as much as what I say with you is to some extent right, at some point he needs to get his message across to the, the bench.
But that foot race could have been with any of them. That foot race could have been with Zuma. It could have been with Dawson. It could have been with Cresswell. It just so happened that Barnes plays on the left because we were so high. You put the right ball through. There is nothing that anyone can do. You remember when we played? Was it at Newcastle when we had Zabaleta at right back and we played a high line that time? And it was up against St. Maximin. What the fuck can Zabaleta do? Zabaleta's a great right back.
Yeah, but Zabaleta was 37 or 8 at the time.
that was under Pellegrini, wasn't it?
I know, but that's what I'm saying, chat. But again, it was tactically naive. But I will say, even though, because I've seen other channels today as well, and they've kind of said,
"Why do you keep watching other channels? What's wrong with you?"
No, but what they've said is he's done the same thing again. He's done the same thing. Now, my opinion is, with the way that we set up typically this season, it doesn't matter what the formation is. It doesn't matter what fucking players he puts on the pitch because for 45 minutes of the game, we've got 9 or 10 players behind the ball anyway. But the instructions today were different. We were in a different position today. We were pushed further up. That was different. That was different.
Way different. And
that was different.
We didn't wait. It's the first game of many that we haven't done that last 15-minute thing, right?
No, but I insist, Gary, it was a kitchen sink thing, though, because I think that this was kind of, he treated this, like I said in the video, it was the last 15 minutes when you're 1-0 down against Man United. It whenever has he taken Souček off? I know he done it in the last game, but he started doing it now, but it is too little too late. And it's the right thing to do. Take Souček off, put 4 nails on.
Yeah,
but he's never done that before.
It weren't today, was it?
No, I know he made the sloppy pass, but at the end of the day, you're bringing him on to try and create something. There is no one creating much really in that team. There's not. And we did have a lot of possession from 24 minutes onwards. We had a lot of possession, but we didn't do much with it.
It was nice to see, even though we didn't get anything out of the game. It was nice to actually see Paquetta being paired up with Declan Rice in a deep line role, because that's apparently where he's his strongest. It's where
I thought he was all right today. Right? He's been getting fucking ripped on social media.
The thing you get with Paquetta, every game, bar none, is 100% effort. It always puts in a shift, that guy, right?
He was angry today.
And he was. I thought he was going to get sent off at one point. But he constantly tries things, and hardly anything is coming off for the bloke at the moment. I mean, it seemed to me that I was
some great forward passes, Gary. Some great central forward passes.
I just thought when he hits a pass, I was thinking he often underhits the pass, and then shortly after he's belted across the goal. Right, he's overhit the pass, the cross. So
that was a bad cross. It was a bad cross.
He's clearly struggling to settle and to understand those around him and whatever else, or those around him are struggling to understand him. I think is more likely. But listen, I like 2 things about him. I like that he always puts in a shift, and I like that he tries things. And like you said with Benrahma, when attacking players try things, flair players, they're not going to always come off. So they're going to be, and the crowd were patient with him today. They didn't start going, I've
got a close mate that's a Chelsea fan, and when Hazard was there, he said the most frustrating player for him at Chelsea was Hazard. But if you look on Match of the Day, and a bloke who creates most of their goals at that time, it was Hazard. But apparently most of the stuff he didn't come off. He used to get caught in possession all the time. But you don't see that when you watch Match of the Day. You just see the good bits.
No. But if we compare Benny to Paquetta just momentarily, most of because us 3 on here was frustrated with Benny last year. Most of
I was.
Okay. No, we were, and I was as well. I'm not digging you out. I'm just saying. I'm being honest. Most fans were. It was making the wrong decisions, right? And now Benny's got better because he seems to be making better decisions. What I'd say about Paquetta is that he shows moments of brilliance. His link-up play today, some of it was fantastic. But the problem with him is I still think he does try a little bit too much at times. I'm not saying you can't do it, and I'm not saying there's no room for it in the game. Of course there is. We love to see that. But what happens is when you're in a bit of a dogfight like we are now, those moments that don't come off, they get magnified somewhat by the fans.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fans are even more on it, whereas before, if we were sitting sixth and he tried it, they'd go, "Oh, you."
I'm going to be cynical, John. I'm going to be cynical because we've still got an awful lot of people that will not accept that it's Moyes' fault, and they will do anything to pin it on something else that isn't David Moyes. And if they can pin it on a player, they can pin it on this. That is what they will do. That's my personal opinion. The majority of people that will be on Paquetta, calling him this, calling him that, and some of the other players, they are people that will refuse to accept that David Moyes could possibly do anything wrong.
Right.
What do you mean the shift in the blame?
There's a message here from El Chico saying, confirmed by ex-WHU employee Moyes as until after the World Cup. Sigh. I don't know what that. I mean, why would you give him this? Listen. Confirmed by X. I am sorry. It's like confirmed by Sean. They don't know. Anything can change. At the end of the day, they are not sitting in that fucking boardroom. They are told what to tell. They are told what to report from senior sources because that is literally what the ITKs are used for. They're used. They do get given good information, but they're also used to peddle narratives that the club wants to peddle. Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah.
That's
no. I agree.
But where's all this rumour come from that there's a board meeting, emergency board meeting? Don't they have a board meeting after every game?
No. There's there has been today, mate. Of course there has been.
There has been what?
There has been a board meeting today.
There has been, there's definitely been an emergency board meeting.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, I'll be amazed. It'll be a miracle if he's still here throughout the World Cup. And do you know what? John, but John, if it is the case that they are going to stick with him, it is a fucking mess because you look at what Villa have done, you look at what Wolves have done, you look at what Southampton have done. I mean, Nottingham Forest won today. We're 1 point behind them now. What are we waiting for? Are we going to wait until we lose those 4 games? Are we going to wait until we lose to Arsenal, Brentford, Leeds, and fucking Wolves?
Where have I said wait? I think you should
but what I'm saying is, but what possible reason is there for them to wait and to think that he's going to do anything different to what he's done for the last year?
There is no reason. It feels like they're postponing the inevitable. It will come. Yeah. He will get fired. Whether he gets fired now or he gets fired in 4 games' time, he will get fired at some point because I don't see a magical upturn in our form. I don't see us beating Arsenal. We will get beaten. We will get beaten by Brentford, very likely. Who's after that? Leeds. They're scoring for fun at the moment. They're also conceding for fun, but they're scoring for fun. And Wolves, under their new excellent manager, that's 4 very, very tough games. So I don't see where the points are coming from.
They're not.
And so if the points are not coming, then that is just postponing the inevitable. And another advantage about bringing in a manager now
is making the next manager's job so difficult.
And another advantage of bringing in a new manager now is you could say the Arsenal and the Brentford game, you could treat them as bonus
free
games,
hits.
Right?
Yeah, free hits.
Anything from them, you're happy, right? But they're gonna, if they don't move him on and they wait those 4 games, then we've played 19. That's half the season. We're in the bottom 3, right? And things are looking a whole lot more challenging, aren't they? Right?
I've said it before. I think that they almost like David Moyes in place because he's an arse kisser for a start. He done it in the January transfer window. He takes abuse. No, but he takes the abuse. They're so used to being abused at the board. I think they've got a manager now. He takes the flack for them. And I think they will use him as much as possible. There's also an argument going around that they want to use David Moyes to get rid of Rice so they can hang him for it. There's also a reason for that. But how long do they take that? I mean, if there is a risk of us getting relegated off the back of this shit, then I don't know. Because I'm not being funny, John. If you look at us as a team now, and Gary, imagine us without Declan Rice.
Oh no, I know.
But that's any team without Declan Rice, Nick.
No. But us in particular, we are 1 point above the relegation zone.
The only just getting back to the Moyes sack thing. In my mind now, it's a results based business. If you look at it on paper, most clubs would probably have got rid of him by now. My only concern, and my only worry, if they don't get rid of him, is if they haven't got a clue or they haven't even started looking for a new manager yet.
Who's Alex Chapman? Can we block him? He's annoying people.
And John, would that be in your mind?
This club deserves. What's that? Not West Ham.
Yeah,
I'm not in the fucking mood tonight.
Nah.
Alex Chapman ain't said nothing that I think.
He ain't. It's only because Hammerhead said that he's not a West Ham fan.
Yeah, but Hammerhead argues with his own reflection, doesn't he?
Oh, okay. Honestly, any other fucking fans tonight, I'm booting. I'm booting from the channel.
No arguing in the chat. Nick's on
the end. Oh, I've completely lost me thread now. I've completely lost
me.
No, so
I said if they don't get rid of him, most clubs would have got rid of him. The only thing I can think that they haven't got rid of him, my main reasoning would be that they haven't started thinking
apart from Leeds, apart from the disabled Leeds, he's a lovely guy. I
know what I was going to say. I know what I was going to say now, and that is a question to you, John, and that is because I've got my own opinion on this. If they're bearing in mind what's happening and what has happened, I think it would be reckless if they have not been identifying another manager.
Succession planning. Surely it's a fucking thing in an organisation like that, isn't it?
But I wouldn't put it past Sullivan and Gold. The only difference is you hope that with Kretinsky involved, you hope that he's a bit more forward-thinking, forward-planning. He's a businessman. I know they're businessmen, but I mean, he ain't here because he loves West Ham or he loves the claret and blue like the other two apparently do. So the only reason they might not sack him is one of two reasons. They haven't lined anyone up, ain't thought about it.
It's a great name for that comment.
What?
Go on, John.
No, but I just worry they ain't lined no one up. And my biggest fear, it's been said everywhere, but my biggest fear would be that bloody Mark Warburton steps in as a caretaker role. And as much as you might want Moyes out, that to me is a backward step even more than Moyes.
No, John. We're at a situation. No, John. No. We're at a situation now where I will happily take a caretaker manager for a period. I think this club need a bounce. We need a bounce.
No, caretakers turn into permies. I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
Yeah, no. What? So you will stick? No, but what that means is, Gary, that you're going to stick with David Moyes, and we're going to we're going to go down with him.
The only viable caretaker I'd take, right. All right, there are several, but the one I'd take is probably Nolan.
I'll take Nolan.
Nolan, you know what? Nolan's a great shout. I didn't even think of that. Nolan's a great shout. The fans like him. He's got his badges. He can probably do the job.
Yes, disabled team. You're exempt from my earlier comment about other people's teams. You're lovely. I like you. It's just what I meant was from other people's teams that are coming in to mock me at the moment or mock us. They can fuck off. That's what I meant.
Nick's on the lookout. His fucking eyes are going left to right.
Fucking block them. Slags. Go on. Right. Anyway, go on. What did you say?
We were just talking about the manager.
But yeah, I've killed it. Now, go on. What was you saying, John? Do you want to go through some comments?
Yeah, there's about 1,000,001, so I'll just go.
We'll pick out some questions or some good comments in there. Go on.
There ain't no good comments. Eastside's having a party on his own.
To be fair, Eastside's been quite balanced lately. He's been all right. I think he has been.
Eastside and balanced in the right sentence. That don't go together, mate. Victor. See, these are the two. They're waiting for Poch and Tuchel to get jobs. Then they will go for Deitch. You know, another story. Now.
Yeah, but you ain't got Deitch. I'm not being funny. Look at Thomas Frank. Did you see Man City earlier on?
Yeah, I watched
the Man City game. Fuck me. Like the way they started, the way Brentford came out the blocks. Man City was shell shocked. How refreshing was it? Now, look, you could say they were lucky, but fortune favours the brave. As I've said before, they were brave. They got the result.
You're like, you're like a Greek god. You come out.
I'm not a Greek god, mate. Yeah, but that guy in his team, and if you listen to Tony after a game as well, their mentality is we think we can go out and we can beat anyone. Tony. I
thought you meant Tony Mowbray. So.
Tony, the one that Gareth Southgate didn't pick, and he just scored 2 goals away from Man City today.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant at penalties.
To be fair, do you know something? I am happy for Callum, even though he's done that shit with us. I'm happy for Callum Wilson. I think that's a good shout. I think he'll be all right.
We're going to do some World Cup shows, aren't we? And we're going to talk about that, and we're going to get frustrated with Southgate instead of Moyes, aren't we?
Oh, he's going to be Southgate out for me. Yeah. I'm going to start out straight away. The match one against Iran.
Yeah. Right, look, let's go through some comments. There's too many to worry about. There is no room for sentiment now. We need to restart. Maybe a caretaker manager until a solid performance replacement can be found that is fit to take us forward. Yeah, that's probably right. I suppose.
Yeah.
I agree.
Moyes will never get another premium team. If that's true, then why are we keeping him?
David Moyes is look. He's proved with us twice. He's a problem fixer. There will always be a job for someone like David Moyes. There will. Yeah. He's the new Sam. He is, as far as I'm concerned. That's what Sam Allardyce was, John. He was a problem fixer.
But you're using that as a derogatory term to Moyes.
No, I'm not using it as a derogatory term. That is a viable job. If you're struggling, you need someone to save you. You call on someone. It used to be Sam. Now it's David Moyes.
Yeah, but just say that then. You ain't got to say he's the new David. You haven't got to say he's the new. That's like me saying you're the new fucking Putin.
Calm your fucking beard down, John. I'm not saying that. Come on.
Anyway, shut up. People don't want to hear you moaning. I just don't see the sharpness going forward like sort of Brentford, Newcastle go forward with real pace and threat. Well, today, I've got to say, I felt as a team, we moved the ball quicker than, we was moving the ball very quick today. I mean,
well quick.
Going forward.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. We was
quick, but nowhere near as quick as Leicester.
No, nowhere near as quick as Leicester. No.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Thought experiment. I've said this before. Noble as manager in January. Well, he can't. He has to do it alongside someone because he ain't got the right badges. But yeah, I could see that. But
what are you talking about? He done a 5-hour course at Harvard. He'd be all right.
No, that wasn't to do with coaching. That was something to do with business or something.
Noble and Nolan dream team for January.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should get you in there, Nick. Yeah, you and who would
you fucking do it. I've done my badges. I'm UEFA level B.
You'd have who would you? Oh, hang on. You'd have You'd have Pochettino as your assistant. You'd have Thomas Frank as your second assistant. You'd get all these big names into a club like West Ham, wouldn't you?
I'd get Frank Lampard in just to make me tea.
What's this? Did you guys see David Moyes' comments after the game? I didn't. Did you see it, anyone?
I saw a few of his comments. No. One of them was about the fans booing at the end. I've got to say, John, I don't think there were many fans left to boo at the end because everyone left after the second goal went in, didn't they?
I left a bit early today.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, with 10 minutes to go, including injury time, the ground was emptying out at a steady rate. But he said, can you understand? The interviewer said, can you understand the
Alex
booze?
Chapman, hang on, whoa. Alex Chapman's having a hissy fit. I hold my hands up. I reacted to Hammerhead, who I shouldn't have listened to.
You
Don't go. I am sorry. I apologise.
I'm a bit
sensitive at the moment.
Straight already.
Well done, Alex. Well done, Alex. You chewed him right out there.
Fucking go. Hammerhead, fuck off.
Let's read it out, John. Who do you think you're saying I'm not a West Ham fan, you mug?
He's mugged you right off there. He's done you on your own show.
Yeah.
Go on. Don't go.
Oh, he's gone.
Don't go.
Right,
anyway, carry on.
Ronan Keating says, why a temporary manager? They have weeks to find a new manager if they sack him off now. Yeah, but it's not weeks. If there's a new manager, you want them in sooner rather than later to get to know the team because we're going to have most of our players are going to be left behind. They ain't going to be over in the World Cup.
A win.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to have a temporary manager. We've got 6 weeks to find a new one. There will be a need to have a temporary one if we leave it until the next few games, right?
Yeah.
El Chico says, how can you want Nolan over Warburton? Warburton is way more experienced and prepared than Nolan would be. Yeah, I get that. But Warburton's managed. Who's he managed? Brentford, Rangers, and QPR, I think.
Yeah, he managed Rangers when they were in the second tier. He managed, and he's never been anywhere for very long. You
got to use your loaf on these situations. I'm not too sure whether he'd be the right man.
Yeah.
No. I think he goes stale after a while, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he does.
We just recycling the same bread jokes.
We are. Yeah.
Let's move on then because you've got crap ones. Gary says, give it a few weeks. Graham Potter.
I'll take him in a heartbeat. That'd be amazing. That'd be like the perfect thing because he's gone to Chelsea. Certain managers are right for certain clubs. Graham Potter would be brilliant for us. Anyone that plays beautiful, expressive football, I'll welcome in. I'd like Bielsa. I'd take Bielsa.
No, I wouldn't take Bielsa.
Just for a year. Just for a year.
What's the point of that? Just for a year.
Just for a bit of excitement. I've been bored to shit for a year. It'd just be nice.
Because Chelsea lost again, didn't they? Chelsea lost again. Yeah. They keep losing. They keep losing.
Well, we're a point above the relegation zone. I'm just looking at the table. I'm not sure what the panic's about, but anyway, we need to fire him now. Then they can take time to hire a new manager, like a pre-season coming before the season starts again. There's absolutely no reason to keep West Ham.
Totally agree.
Mandy's encroaching on our bread jokes now. I mean, that's not right.
Can we give her a timeout? You don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, stop it. Right, go on. Sorry, go on.
You could take 2 weeks to find a new manager and hire a new manager, and then that new manager would still have 4 weeks on the training ground with most of the players before the next game.
I know.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Is it? I see. He's
hang on. He's got this the wrong way around. He's got this the wrong way around, didn't he? If Nick is the new Putin, then John must be Kim Jong Un.
Yeah, that's right. You are. You're a little bit like that.
Whatever. What's this mean here? We moved the ball quicker for 20 minutes in the second half. Whoopee. All right, John McFadden. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is the rant. Well, more than one person has said Alex Chapman wasn't a West Ham fan, so I thought it was true.
Hammerhead, you just caused you in trouble now. You got me mugged off on our own channel. That's your fault.
And make up your own mind. Make up your own mind, Hammerhead. What's this one? Moyes can come in and fix other managers' mess and look great, but can't fix his own problems, mainly because he don't think there is a problem, or he blames the players for not being able to polish a turd.
Yeah, he did say something else after the game as well. He said,
"Let me set the player ratings. Go and carry on talking."
He said something like, I was talking about the fans earlier. I didn't quite finish saying it, but about the booing. He was asked about the booing, and he said, "Well, it's understandable. You know, the team, they used to be in 6th or 7th in the table, and last season we were competing for Champions League all the time, so they want to be top of the league. We all want to be top of the league. We want to do it. Players want to do it. Blah blah blah." So I thought, you're not quite grasping it, because that's a bad understanding of West Ham fans. We don't expect to be at the top of the league. We just expect not to be in a relegation battle.
I think, but I think
I still haven't got a graphic for Paquetta. Does it matter, or should I just leave him as invisible again? And we'll just
he was quite invisible, so yeah.
Oh,
hang on 1 minute.
Well, this is because I've always worried about who we can attract as a manager, but this is a good point from Words and Pictures. I'm not sure which is his surname, but Brazilian midfielder Paquetta, Italian forward Scamacca, English midfielder Rice. Is there a joke coming up here? Those are or have been great players. They can attract most managers.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. And I think that was one. Yeah, that's one that Nick made, actually. As long as you do it in time and you don't give the new manager a really small amount of games to turn it around.
I'm going to use Antonio as a prop for Paquetta. Hang on.
Yeah,
we've got we've got the Leeds disabled team. You know, he's not a West Ham fan, but he's got.
He's a top man. He is.
Oh, he's a top man or woman. We don't know that, do we?
Yes.
So don't be sexist, Nick.
We don't know what he identifies as. To be honest, you shouldn't assume. You should not assume what he identifies as, John.
Well, we know what you identify as. It begins with C and ends with C. This one says so. He's not a West Ham fan. I think this was one of your better games this season. I do believe you have the players in the squad. They just need playing in their right position and be able to play from minute one.
Yeah.
If you ain't a West Ham fan, mate, you're on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's true though. And today, to be fair, we did start from minute one. It wasn't like the other night where we conceded 4 corners in 4 minutes. It was different. Yeah. We waited 8 minutes today until we conceded.
Who came on today? It was just Fornals, wasn't it?
Fornals.
And Aguerd.
Oh, yeah, Greg came on for that. Yeah, is that a bad knee injury of Zuma's?
Well, he was injured. So he got injured in the warm-up. I don't know whether you know that. And he basically was fucked in the warm-up. And
where did you see that? Where did you see that?
Aguerd was stripped and ready to go. I watched the stream, John. Aguerd was stripped and ready to go. And then all of a sudden, Zuma appeared from nowhere. And then 12 minutes later, he's gone. I'll tell you, that physio team, they've got to get the fucking bullet. How many times have they got it wrong with a player?
Yeah, I know. I don't disagree.
Did you watch my stream today?
No.
The one that I gave you. I gave you the
details.
Oh, no,
I haven't got a Fire Stick.
Oh, right.
I use my one today.
Why did you ask for it then?
Well, I didn't know you had to have a fucking Fire Stick for it.
Oh, my God. They're closing
if people are logging in there, they're going to think it's a television debate. Can you shut up? Right. Happy Hammer 82. Get Mourinho out of Roma and find that he ain't coming, is he? And finally turn us into winners. Can't see why not spend 180 on players. Might as well have managed to go with it. Kev Caractus. Moyes saying we played well. We just made
Caretaker, John. Caretaker.
Yeah, but if he had a proper name I could pronounce, I mean,
Caretaker.
Why not just put Kev? Moyes saying we played well, just made 2 mistakes and didn't take our chances. Then he goes on about 2 great years.
He said our home form up until this last week has been really good this year.
We've had this question before, and I don't think we can. I'm sorry. It's not me being under-ambitious or thinking Brentford are bigger than us. I think he's got a project there. Do you think we could get Thomas Frank out of Brentford?
I agree. I don't think you could get him out of Brentford. I think he'd go for one of the big clubs, but I don't think he'd leave there for us.
Like Potter left Brighton for Chelsea. Potter would
absolutely.
I think we could get Thomas Frank. Yes, I do. I think we could get Thomas Frank.
No, I hope we do. But why do you think
we could?
Why?
What?
Why?
What do you mean why? We've just spent the third most money in the world in the summer just gone. We've got ambition. We've got ambition, this club. In the world.
I know, in the world.
We've got money. We're a fucking big club. We're a good project. We're in Europe, right? We're in Europe. We're fucking going all the way. But not with Moyes. Because if he's
talking about Europe.
The minute Moyes, but what's the point? The minute Moyes fucking gets to a semi-final, he shits himself. But anyway.
Oh, get over it.
And Hammerhead, don't stress, mate. It's fine. Don't worry. If Alex is that sensitive, then yeah, whatever.
What has Hammerhead? Has he lost one of our viewers? We've got 8 viewers.
Yes, you have. I've one sub down there, Hammerhead. Find me someone else, quick.
Yeah, but a little bit different to your personality. Yeah. Hammerhead would be good. Moyes is living off the last 2 years. He keeps mentioning it in every post-match interview. Someone tell him that that's in the past, and we are fucking shit.
It's another thing he said. He said he was asked about the board, about them supporting him. Sorry, it's all coming back to me a bit at a time, right? Happens at my age. And they said the board have supported you. He said, yeah, they've been great with me, to be fair, but also I've been great to them over the last couple of years.
Ooh. You got to respect Moyes.
It's all getting touchy.
Oh, yeah. You don't seem to be enjoying it at all.
That was a summary. It wasn't exactly how he said it, you know.
Oh, so you play you hang on, you're abbreviating it all.
I spun it.
You've got to respect Moyes for what
I've got the player ratings ready. I'm going to go and top up my red wine. Do me a favour. If my teeth turn red tonight, can you let me know? Because the last stream that we did, I had black teeth by the end of it.
Don't tell him, John. Don't tell him.
It might match your face.
Shut your face.
You've got to respect Moyes for what he's done for us. He has stabilised us, and we will remember him for the European nights. And that's the thing that I struggle with. You know, like what it is that I said this before, and I know there's no room for sentiment in football. We know that. But some of the memories last seizon alone.
Yeah, I disagree. You know, I disagree. There is room for sentiment in football. It's largely about sentiment, isn't it? And I'll never forget those nights. No. So when I look back, I look at that, you know, Ipswich playoff at home at Upton Park, the last night with Man United, you know, the time when Di Canio did Keown and we beat Arsenal. There are these highlights of watching West Ham that stick in my mind, right? Yeah. And last season added at least 2 to 3 of them. You know,
exactly, and football's all about memories, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know, supporting West Ham is not about winning trophies because we win so few in our lifetime. I know, Gary, you saw the 1965 Cup final, wasn't it? But I mean, people under the age of 45 haven't seen much silverware, have they? So,
no,
and that's the thing. So the nights and the one-off wins, they stick with you, don't they? So, yeah, and that's the thing. You know, like when I look at Moyes, it's like when you have a family party and you invite that elderly Uncle Ted over, and your missus goes, don't invite him. He'll only do it again or say it again. And I'm like that bloke going, no, he'll be all right this time. That's what I've been like with Moyes. I've been like, no, this week he's gonna change it. He's gonna do it. I know he is. I know.
But that's just hoping, right? That's just hoping that it'll change.
Right, we're gonna get the player ratings done. We're gonna do rapid fire player ratings again, so we can get onto calls. All right.
Yeah. So phone calls will be on soon. We'll put the number up in a minute because people
help us with the player ratings.
No, we don't need their help.
We do, because you don't know what you're fucking talking about. So we need someone who does.
Can we start with Fabs? Who's going to start? Ratings, people.
Oh, Fabs was solid. His distribution weren't bad today. Great penalty save, bad penalty, but great penalty save. I'll give him a very good, an 8.
Yeah. Oh, fucking really? An 8?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? He saved the penalty. He's kept us in the game.
Amazing today.
Kept us in the game.
An 8.
What you want to give him more?
I'm giving him higher. That's fine. It's your score.
Well, 8 is very good.
I thought he was brilliant today.
You're going to go excellent.
Hey, yeah, he couldn't have done any. Even his distribution was decent today.
It was decent. Yeah, it was decent.
He was good.
That's why I thought he was very good.
So I'll go an 8. That's fine.
Hang on, what we've got? Let's see what we've got in the chat quickly. 8s and 7s. And...
Stop undermining my player rating.
Nick, when you rate someone, no one ever goes, "Oh, yeah, sure like that." Stop doing it, Nick. You're not
because I'm always right, John. Right, hang on.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, God, 35 years of this deluded muppet. Well, you can go on the next player then.
No, go on, you can have him. Have Cresswell, because you thought he was really good today.
So you should be a primary school teacher or a fucking knobhead. Personally, I thought Cresswell was our better defender today. And that's the truth.
Yes.
I don't think he...
Hold the phone. Sharky has just sent us a super sticker worth £5. Sharky, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharky.
You gentleman, you are. That's a pint for me, not for John.
We only get 15. That's a pint of Amstel over the stadium. I thought Cresswell did all right today. He was average for me, but a good average. I'm not going to go 7s. I'll give him a 6. Yeah, I think the rest of our defenders weren't great, if I'm honest. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. Sorry, I'm going to give him a 7. I am. I thought he did all right today.
Yeah, he did.
I really did. I thought he did all right.
Such a flip-flopper, isn't he? Hang on.
No, I'm not. Hang on a minute. Look, because people in the chat are saying 6, 5. Robin Irons.
No, he weren't. He was all right.
Can we ban David Trevitt? Because apparently you're never allowed to change your mind. David Trevitt is the sort of guy who knows what he wants. I bet he knows what he wants for dinner tomorrow. I bet he's on it. I can't believe
there's a lot of people that have gone Cresswell 5, 6, 6, 4, 5. Yeah, he weren't terrible. I think people are just he weren't terrible. Zuma, I'll do. Can't really mark him for much. I'm just going to give him a 6 because he weren't on the pitch long enough. All I do know is 2 of his long passes went straight out to fucking touch that he tried to do. But I'll put that down to his injury and he's floating knees that he's got. Right, so 6. Okay. Right, I'll give. Do you know what? I'll skip Gary. I'll give you Kara. John, tell me about Dawson today. Your lover.
He wasn't. I don't think he was brilliant.
No, he wasn't.
I can't work out what happened with
John. You can ring in when we've done the player ratings.
John really wants to ring in, doesn't he?
He does. You can. We'll be done in a minute. Go
on. Dawson worked great today. With the penalty, it's like he was in front of the player to win the ball, and it's almost like he let him run beyond. I couldn't work out what happened with the penalty, if I'm honest with you. At the time, I thought it was a great tackle. When I see it back, it definitely was a penalty. But I'd say.
It's the same thing, John. Patson Daka is well quick and Dawson is well slow.
But why did Dawson...
He was behind, he's behind him. He was behind him.
But Dawson didn't move. But Dawson didn't move.
I don't know.
He let it bounce as well.
It was a shit tackle as well. Because the thing is, I know he would have got a shot off, but he was at a bit of an angle. So it was sloppy, really.
He scissored him, didn't he?
It was shit.
But it looked good at the time. But I'd say 5, Dawson.
No donkey, no.
No, I don't think he deserved a donkey. I think no. Well,
but I'm going to get Gary's going to be outrageous if he's true to his word. Go on, go for Kara.
Listen, I thought Kara was absolutely abysmal from a defensive point of view. The only thing that rescues him is late in the second half, he got forward 3 or 4 times. But having said that, the last time he got forward, they missed the pass to him. Harvey Barnes went straight down the other end and scored because Kara was not where he was supposed to be. Right?
Well, yeah, but Fornals.
Yeah, I know it was a bad pass from Fornals.
I mean, it did put him in a little bit of a.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't intelligent from Fornals. No, that's right. So look, I'm tempted to give him a donkey, but I won't because.
To be quite honest, I've fucked up tonight because I've deleted all the donkeys off the page, so they're gone. So I can't.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of donkeys. There's a lot of donkeys in here. You got no donkeys.
No, I deleted them all and I was preparing it. I know.
I'm going to give him a 4 then. I'm going to give him a 4.
Yeah, the donkeys are gone. Sorry. I'll go back to it after, and I'll apply the donkeys and show you the graphic later. But if you're a 4 or lower, you're a donkey. It's what the graphic says.
Honestly, from a defensive point of view, he deserves a 4 today. He was awful.
Yeah. Right. I'll be very quick with Declan Rice. We've already said everything we had to say about him earlier on. He was fucking magnificent. I don't think that man could have done any more than what he did. He's going to a World Cup. You've got, like I say, Maddison, who was, he was great for 25 minutes, but then do you know what? Felt a little tweak. Oh, better go off in case I miss it. You had Declan Rice literally charging up and down the field, trying to do, he was unbelievable. I am sorry. There's a lot of people that probably won't agree with it, but I'm going 10. I think for that tonight, he was. I'm proud of him. I really am. I don't know whether you disagree with it, I think he was tremendous.
With the caveat of the World Cup's hanging over him. I think
that's what I mean. I think
you're right.
That's
in that context, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
he's everything about him. He's passing, he's tackling, he's pressing. Fucking everything that he was doing today was just, it was on point. Apart from his stupid long shot, his token long shot, which goes flying over the bar, which he does every game.
Yeah.
Nick, are you on glue?
Nick, are you on glue?
Hey, mine glue, yeah. That's red wine. Right. Who said that? Ryan Vincent.
Gary Smithhurst.
Yeah.
I don't care, Gary. Look, my score. Right.
Part of the Gary community.
Part of the Gary community. John Souček.
He was trying today when he was trying to play forward passes and that. He was trying to do these sort of lofted curly balls down the wing and that. But he's still underwhelmed.
Hello, this is Thomas Souček. Please don't give me the donkey.
He sounds Italian. Is he Italian now, isn't it? Is he Italian? He was okay today, Souček. He wasn't terrible. I'm going to give him a 6.
I thought he was all right as well.
Average 6 for me. 6 average.
6.
That's fair.
That's people fair. In the chat, 5, 6s. Someone give him a 4. Hammerhead.
Trodger's made a good point. He did a very good finish for the offside goal.
Poo.
How old are you, Hammerhead? You can say word shit, mate. It's after 9.
Right, Antonio is Paquetta for everyone because I've lost my donkeys. I've lost Paquetta as well. So Antonio's being used as a prop for Paquetta. So give me your rating for Paquetta, please. Gary, Paquetta.
Well, Paquetta, I discussed him earlier. Paquetta, he put in a lot of effort. He did get the ump at one point. It shows how much he cares. He was trying to make things happen. But I can't give him an average. I've got to go below average. I go 5. Just really? Because the quality, the quality just weren't there. The effort was, but
John wants to donkey him up. Look,
yeah.
No, I would have given him higher than a 5.
What would you give?
I would have probably given him a 6 or a 7. I get the front. He's one of them players at the game when you're chasing the game and you just want to get the goal, and he tries to flick and it doesn't come off. Then you're like, fucking just pass it. But really, he is going to do that often, isn't he? He's going to give it away sometime. I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he was below average, but it's your score, Gary.
No. Let's let the people decide. We've got lots of 6s in here. So
I would have gone 6 personally.
Go 6. Go 6.
Oh, you flip flop, David Trevitt. Gary is the new flip flop.
Right, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put this on Bowen really gently so he doesn't fall down to the floor and scream holding his leg. Fuck me, pisses me off. Right, John, tell me about Bowen.
That's funny.
You just said it, really.
That's funny.
Yeah, he ran around a lot today, but with not a lot of end product. Someone said it earlier on. Most of our attacking prowess came down the left, didn't it? Which is obviously Benny's side. He was going down he goes down in stages as well. He goes down like he's in the film Platoon, like he's been shot from behind.
He does, I know.
Or drops to his knees, then onto his chest. But I'm not going to slag him off. He just didn't play well again. I'd just say 5.
Yes, that's.
Yeah, he was poor. He was poor.
I don't 5 for what? 5 for what? But I thought he was shit.
Hang on. Hammerhead's really grown up here. He's now he's called Pooin. No wonder that geezer Alex Chapman left with Hammerhead in the chat.
Don't blame him. Right, Benny. I do Benny. I thought Benny was the real shining light in the final third today. I don't think we got the ball to him enough. Because whenever we got the ball to him, it was fucking exciting. And he was up for it. He was really up for it. I think he's almost like he's playing for I don't know whether he's playing for Moyes or he's playing for the new manager. I don't know what's going on there.
He's playing for the fans.
He is on fire the way that he's playing at the moment. And yes, there isn't always going to be an end product. When you're a type of player that tries things all the time, it's not always going to come off. But that man, I'm sorry, my son Ben, he's literally said, oh my god, he said Benny is just amazing now, and Ben was getting frustrated with Benrahma as well, but he's exciting now. He really is, and he's so positive. He's such a positive player, and I think he's one of those players that's why David Moyes ain't been picking him, because you know what? I don't think David Moyes could shackle Benrahma if he wanted to. I think he'll always just play his game. I'm going to give him a 9.
A 9?
Superb. I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he was brilliant.
An excellent.
I'm going to give him an excellent. I thought he was excellent today.
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't want a very good, but you know,
I mean, I would have gone 9 for Fabianski, 10 for Rice, 9 for Benrahma. I think those 3 were the 3 standout players personally. Right, Gary, tell me about our the Italian Haller.
Well, I'm really disappointed with Scamacca today. You know, when he first joined the club,
disappointed with him. I'm disappointed with us because of what we're doing to him. But
I was really disappointed with him because when he first joined the club, he was played in a similar way, right? Nothing's changed. He's getting played in the same way now. But the difference between Scamacca then and Scamacca now is that Scamacca now is literally just very, very static, not trying to shake off the centre halves, happy to stand there. Early Scamacca would go back deep and try and get the ball and try and make something happen.
He was coming back deep, Gary, today.
I didn't see it. But
how many chances did we actually give him today?
None.
There were a couple of
I'm asking you. No, but tell me.
No service. No service.
Every cross that comes in from wide areas is shit. And that includes when Paquetta was out there, as you said earlier on. Every cross is shit.
There was a half chance that header that came across that ended up going back to Paquetta, who skied it. Yeah, do you remember that one?
That's a half chance. We're not putting things. Yeah. I'm telling you now. You put Haaland up front for us, he'd be cutting the same frustrated figure. He would be. No, he would be, Gary. He would
honestly, the player takes some responsibility for it, so I'll give him a 5.
No, it's your score. That's fine. I just felt today. He looked. I disagree in so much as I thought he came deep quite often.
He did.
I felt he looked every time he got the ball and turned and ran. He was having 3 or 4 players on him, like wolves, like a pack of wolves. And if you notice, there was one time when he got the ball, he ran with it, he lost it, he tracked back, and he sort of half punched the geezer. I saw that. His frustrations are just boiling over. He just looks frustrated, and I think lack of service.
He looks fed up.
Yeah, and as much as we want them to be professional and just get on with it and all that, a striker is nothing without service. So,
well, look, particular types of striker. If you put Antonio in any system, Antonio is almost like a lazy choice because he's a type of player that he'll fucking knock a ball on. He'll go and chase it himself. He's a one-man wrecking ball. He lacks a bit of quality. But you can put him in a system and he'll just function within it. That's what Antonio will do, and he's been great for us. But Scamacca is a specialist, and he is. We've seen firsthand what he can do. His finishing ability, but we are not giving him the fucking chances. He ain't getting them, and he's getting frustrated.
This is interesting. Sorry to cut you off, but look, people moaned last week that he tracked back too much. Now moaning because he didn't as much.
I think this is what is going to happen. This system and David Moyes turns players to shit. And what's going to end up happening is the fan base are going to end up thinking that Scamacca is a rubbish player. He's shit. We've got to get rid of him. He's a new Haller. He's lazy. It isn't the player. It's not the player.
Yeah,
it's not. But Gary, you're right. You got to mark it on what it was, and it was a 5 today. Right, Naif Aguirre, John Wankles, over to you.
You was a little bit critical of him. I thought
he got roasted 2 or 3 times when he first came on. He looks iffy to me.
Can I score my player, or are you going to tell me how to score?
Well, I just think you need a bit of help. That's all.
I think he came on and looked a bit rusty originally at the beginning, But it was his first Premier League start. It's nothing to what he's played Europa Conference League and pre-season friendlies. I thought he improved as the game went on and did some good things. A little bit sloppy at times, but I'd give him a 6.
Yeah, I thought he did all right, to be honest. I
didn't
mind him.
I don't think he did anything. Yeah, he didn't do anything terribly wrong. I'm not that impressive with him, no.
What was nice is that you got a natural left footer, which Zuma isn't, playing on the left side of the 2 centre halves. So that was quite nice.
Pablo Fornals, Gary.
Pablo Fornals, well, the diabolical pass at the end didn't really get involved from the minute he came on. When did he come on? About 75 minutes?
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, I went home about probably 8 minutes later. So I only see him for 8 minutes. I didn't see very much of him. Did you stay longer, John?
Yeah, I left on the final whistle, but I was sort of halfway out the stadium, if you know what I mean. Like,
So what did you think of Fornals? You mark him.
Yeah, it wasn't a great cameo, was it? I just think the pass for the second goal was outrageously sloppy.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 5.
Yeah, with all due respect, on recent form, because Pablo's been playing well lately, and on Paquetta's recent form, Fornals probably should be starting instead of Paquetta in that 10. Probably should be.
Yeah.
Based on form. But with
Paquetta,
yeah, maybe.
With Paquetta, surely it is just a matter of time until the switch flicks and he.
No, but we're saying that about Skamaka. Right? I think Paquetta's come from a team. He needs to play in a possession-based team. He's going to look shit in a team that don't play that way. And I don't know that he's going to shine under Moyes ever.
Yeah,
I don't think he is. But I'll let someone else have. Who wants Moyes? John, Gary, who wants him?
Not really.
Well, look,
Gary have it because he's more balanced than us.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I mean, to start with, I was disappointed to see that after the appalling Crystal Palace performance last week, that he picked exactly the same team. Right, I was a bit troubled by that.
No changes in
person. But there was no change in team, but there was a radical change in approach, and
it does prove, Gary, doesn't it, that it's team instructions. In the game, that's what it proves.
And it doesn't matter about shape. It doesn't matter about anything. No. It's actually instructions, right?
Yeah.
And that side, he got the substitution. Well, look, the substitution for Fornals was the right substitution as well. That that was definitely right to do what he did and change the team around and move Paquetta back and take Souček off. But it's not his fault it didn't work out. It's a Fornals mistake. So I'll give him a 6. Should I give him a 6? Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Pabs?
No,
Moyes.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again. I didn't get that.
I'll give him a 6. Average.
Fucking 6. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I don't think he got.
But Nick's so like, if he don't agree with you, like he thinks you're wrong. You can't tell someone to score someone and then disagree.
I mean, look, we lost the game, so therefore. Like I said the other day, if we lose this game, he's got to go. That's all there is to it. But he didn't get a lot wrong in terms of the approach.
Right, John is desperate to ring in, so I must put the phone number up for him.
Mate, if this geezer, if he don't ring in after saying, how can I ring in for the last 25 minutes?
I'm putting it up now.
Still got the player ratings thing up. So,
right, hang on. 1 minute.
Whoever's first to ring in wins.
Please do me a favour.
Empty
someone's already got me number. You're gonna have to wait a minute. I'm gonna take this call first.
Look, Nick's ordering Domino's. Look.
Right, I'm bringing you straight into the show, whoever you are.
Who is it? You can't just do that. I bet it's Gary from Romford. Go
on, who is it? Can you hear us? Hello?
Oh, it's working well.
Hello, can you hear us? No. It's not even working on speaker, so it's not. It's just gone quiet.
No,
it's gone quiet. Okay, look, the number's up there. If you want to call us.
Did he chicken out? Whoever it was, did it?
Must have, yeah. Must have. Right. So yes. So give us a call, John. Do you want to? I'll tell you what. If we put the number up like that. Oh no, that's the wrong number. That ain't gonna work.
Oh fuck God!
Look, listen,
professionalism.
I lost me fucking phone, didn't I? Hang on. Right, 1 minute. But for anyone who don't know, I went out Thursday last week, got me coat robbed. It had my phone in the pocket, and I'm just kind of getting back to normal again. Hang on.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a break on WhatsApp and Facebook and that, didn't we?
It was lovely, wasn't it, for a couple of days?
Just me and Gary talking. It was so nice. There was no arguments. It was
no one fell out.
I agree with you, Gary. Oh, yes, John. That's a good point, John.
Right, there we go.
Nick turns up like Tasmania Devil. Yeah. Is this your new number?
That's my new number. No, it's just a number. So phone in on that number, please, and I will patch you through to the show. It's a comedy of errors. Yes, it is.
Can't you put it somewhere else? Because I can't put the comments up. It comes over.
You know what? No one likes you. Hang on 1 minute.
No one likes. It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Hang on. Right. Scroll across the bottom.
When I put the comments up, we
No, not that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Scroll. There you go.
I'm tuning into Talk Sport. You are indeed. Hammerhead.
Yes, you are. If anyone wants to phone in.
You're getting mugged off my Hammerhead. This is a comedy of errors.
He's causing me problems tonight, Hammerhead.
Amini Essa. The problem is all the
Hang on. Dave Trevitt's calling in.
Oh, for God's sake. Here we go. Attack me.
Hello, Dave. You all right, mate?
How do you know it was me?
Well, because I've got you saved in my phone book as Mr. Happy. Dave, I'm assuming that assuming you phoned in to talk to Mr. Flip Flop, John.
Oh, I've got nothing to say to him. You know what they say about taxi drivers, don't you? It's true, mate.
I know. But anyway, Dave, what would you like to talk about tonight, mate? I think I can guess.
Moyes has got to get a 0 because he's shit, isn't he?
He's not been good at all. Right, listen, there's somebody else phoning in. We're currently on a call. So phone in when this call is over, please. There we are.
Who would you right? So all three of you, even the bearded one. Who would you have as a replacement?
A replacement. Oh, do you know what? People see the thing is, right? Seriously, I don't know who that is. Just wait until we finish this call. Dave. The thing is, people say that to you when you say Moyes out, and I know you're not one of them, and they say, "Oh, who are you going to get in?" That ain't my fucking problem. Because we're not going to recruit that manager. There are plenty of managers out there that I would like.
Perhaps we should just try and answer Dave's question, right?
But I would like Tuchel. But I would like Tuchel. I would like Frank. I would like Tuchel. I would like Frank. I would like Pochettino. There are loads of numbers. There are loads of people that I would like.
If you gave me a choice, and I could go and get anyone, I probably would take Frank away from Brentford because I think he's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think Tuchel would be blinding. I think Poch would be perfect for the players that we've got. I don't know whether Poch would come to West Ham. Who knows?
Somebody made a comment the other day. I can't remember what show it was that I watched, but they said about characters of managers, and they said Pochettino has kind of already proved that he's a bit of a flip flop man in the sense that Nick's angry only encouraging callers. He said but what they said was that oh fuck me, I'm getting all these numbers phoned in. We're on a call.
Take the number down.
All different numbers, and I'm taking the number off. Hang on. Right. I'm getting fucking. I'm taking call waiting off.
It's brilliant.
Take call waiting off. It's so easy.
Right. Here's the thing. I asked the question. Just give an answer, mate. Don't. You know.
Yeah. Right. So, who would I? If what you're saying to me, if I had a manager that I could choose now that I think is realistic.
No, who would you have? Realistic or not?
Realistic or not, then I would have Poch personally. I would. But if you're talking realistic, I think I would go for Thomas Frank. That would be the one that I would go for personally. I really would. I'm not saying the guy he would go out and he would win his trophies, but I think he would be brilliant for us. I think he'd change the way that we play. It'd be more suited. So, like I said, we lost 2-0 today. If you watch back my review video compared to my others, because we didn't play as shit, I wasn't as angry. I wasn't. I didn't feel like and that is proof. I just want to see us playing better football. I do. Fuck me.
Nick, stop swearing at people.
Go on,
Yeah,
John, who do you want?
I genuinely don't know.
No one cares, mate.
What's he say?
No one cares, mate.
John wants Sam Allardyce.
No, well, you've already got Scottish Sam Allardyce.
Who do you want, Dave?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to flip this, Dave. You pick. Who do you want?
I'm used to flip-flops, mate.
Seriously, 3-5-2. You're pushing your luck, mate.
Come on, Dave. Who are you having?
From a football point of view, I'd like Poch, but as soon as a bigger job's available, he's gone. Another flip-flop, innit?
Come on, you must have someone in mind. Come on.
Come on, Dave, you can tell us.
I wouldn't mind Nolan, actually.
Right, Dave, 1 minute. John, if that's you trying to ring in, just hang on until we finish the call, and then I'll bring you in. Okay? That's all right. Please. We'll bring you in. I really want to talk to you, but I want to talk to Dave first. Right. So, sorry. Go on. I can't find. I need a receptionist. Can someone? Right. Sorry. Go on, Dave.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind Nolan.
Oh no, you take Nolan as a caretaker manager.
Yeah, to the end of the season because he knows what we're about.
Yeah, exactly. I said that earlier. Flip-flop.
And I think he'd have a bit of influence over the squad. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that is a good shout. Do you know, I'd never thought of Nolan before tonight. That was your shout, wasn't it, Gary?
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah, that was whether or not Nolan will demand he gets a new iPad as part of the deal, though. Brilliant. No, but I think that's a good shout because do you think that look, but why? but why on earth, right? Can Aston Villa go out and get Emery, who I'm sorry is on par with Pochettino? He's on par with fucking Lopetegui, who Wolves have just got. Why can we not go out and why can we expect to not go out and get a top manager? Why can't we? If fucking Wolves can. What's wrong with Gary?
We've got GSB, man. GSB, that's why.
Yeah, we've got GSBK now. You get me? We've got Kretinsky now. We've got Kretinsky. No, I don't know. I don't know how much involvement he's got, but there is rumours, mate, that Kretinsky maybe. There's rumours that he's going to be taking over. I don't know how true that is.
Craven Moorhead, Kevin Nolan, who has managed Notts County and Leyton Orient.
Oh. Yeah, I think he'd make a good caretaker. I wouldn't have him permanently.
Gary, you're all right. You're drinking water.
Honestly, I was. I've got a touch of the giggles.
This is the fucking booze up.
Yeah. What about this one?
I had booze up last night.
They have drawn up a list of Benitez or Daesh.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Or both.
Oh, it's like choosing between fucking herpes or chlamydia, isn't it? Which one do you want? All right. So anyway, on the performance tonight, what was your do you think that was a better performance tonight, Dave?
I don't think it was a better performance. I thought it was better intent, but we're just too shit to carry it out, basically.
Yeah, that's probably a good way of saying it, to be honest. That's a good way of saying it. Right, now, Dave, I'm going to let you go now, mate, because I must take this call from John, who's been desperately trying to call. In fact, I'm going to phone him back. I'm going to phone him until he picks up.
But he don't answer.
Yeah, he just said in the chat for you to ring him.
I know. He is. I know he's not. I think this is him now. Dave, thanks very much for phoning in, mate.
Cheers,
and I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, Dave. It's been emotional, mate. Thanks. Cheers, Dave. Thanks.
Hello, this is Nick from Clarendon Booth speaking.
Hello, Nick. It's John. We're Saturday boys. You cockney lot on the panel.
John, is it you? Is it you?
I'm a black cab driver.
Is it you what's been fucking phoning me constantly for the last 10 minutes when I've been on the call?
I'm driving you, man, on the panel. I'm a top rat go like you cockney. How are you, boys? You sweet? You what?
Oh, I bet you're a fucking Tottenham fan, aren't you? Come on.
That's stupid. Fucking John Lowe doing X-ray still. West Ham through tattoos all like this. I'm a black cab driver. Right, listen. For the first game of the season, when we got beat to City, right, Nottingham Forest, mate, we have been absolutely dog shit. Forget all these comments, right? He spent over 100. How much did he spend?
180 million. Wait, whoa, John. That is a third biggest amount of money ever spent.
Who's the black cabbie on the panel? Who's the black cabbie?
The one with the beard, the ugly one.
I'm not sure. I want to admit that.
Only one buck. 63 up every 7 years. Remember the programme? Every 7 years, 7 Up want to be a jockey.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
You never seen the programme? I
Yeah,
want to be a jockey every 7 years.
Yeah, I've seen it. Now he's a cabbie, isn't he?
Did he have an upside down head like John as well?
Yes, young man, I'm a cabbie. I'm a proper West Ham through and through, right? Cut the open clever.
Well, John, listen.
With a couple of stellars, listen.
That's good. Listen, get to the point, John. Come on, tell me what you want to talk about.
Get to the point. I'll give you the point, right? We've spent absolutely fortunes on a squad that just ain't gelling.
Yes.
Steve Cooper has bought fucking 700 players. Listen, you can see in that panel and read them comments. Scamatta, Antonio couldn't fucking chuck a bag of cement. Scamatta's fucking dog shit. Let's be honest.
Oh, no, come on. He looks dog shit. But didn't we say this about Haller when Haller was here and then he went to fucking Ajax and then became like
Who managed down there?
No, it was fucking Moyes managed Haller. Pellegrini brought him in, but Moyes couldn't use him.
So why wasn't we getting on his back 2 years ago when he got us in Europe for 2 years running?
So are you Moyes in then? Is that what you're saying?
I'll be honest with you. I'm on the fence at the minute, right? Forget the comments. Let's be honest with you. The geezer's in there with Nolan. Nolan was retired last year. Nolan was on the back panel, right? Let's give him a bit of chance here. We've got 6 wins out of 6 in Europe. Yeah, we've done absolutely unbelievable.
We've played a load of fucking postmen and DPD drivers.
Oh no, we played Palace. I went over against Palace. I went over against Blackburn. I've been to Bay. I've been Nottingham Forest away. I've been here, everywhere. We're dog shit at the minute, right? We stick together for thick and thin. Let's be honest, right? Yes, we're all going Moyes. Everyone's having their been to Louis. They're still going Moyes in, Moyes out, this, that, the other. You know, I've been here, I've been there. What do we do then? Who'd you get him? Sean Dice, who'd you get him?
We've already said, we've had this conversation with Dave just now. Do you know when people say that? Let me just say this to you now. When people say, at the moment, can we agree? Just try and put it to the back of your mind what David Moyes did for us in the previous 2 years. Look at it in the league.
Did he get unfairly treated when he got sacked?
But John, let me ask this to you now. Try for this season. If you look at the league form in the last calendar year, listen. The trend is if it continues, we're getting relegated. That is true. That is true.
100%.
Yes. So can I ask you? Wait. What have you seen in the last year in the league to suggest that David Moyes is going to turn it around? Please tell me.
Let me stop you there. What's changed from last season and the season before when we got in Europe and everyone was flying and Sue Bowell was brilliant, Sue Check was brilliant, is that the other? Go on, tell me what's changed now.
I've never said Sue Check's brilliant.
When we spent 150 million on Paquetta, on Scamatta, on Caretaker, the right back from Germany, what's changed then? We're supposed to brought in top quality. What have we done wrong?
Mate.
Whose fault is it? Is it Warburton's fault? Whose fault is it?
Well, whose fault do you fucking think it is?
You're saying Moyes all the time.
No, Nick's on the understanding. Nick thinks that,
mate. What I believe, is that.
Let's talk an adult conversation. Go on.
Right, what I believe is that David Moyes, and this is the thing, what John tried to say earlier on is wrong. I think that Gary from Romford, phone back. I'll phone you back in a minute. Fucking hell. Right, listen. He's at it now, Gary. So you're doing
a good thing for people, mate. West Ham.
That's good stuff. Thank you very much. You're a good, lively caller.
I'm a proper Cockney, like you, East End, Bethnal Green, you know what I mean? Wherever it is, gone, we're West Ham through and through.
But what I'm trying to say is that he did very, very well, and he did more than well in the first 2 years. And I'm not talking about the 6 or 7 play finishes. No. What I'm saying is David Moyes. Certain managers can do certain types of jobs, and he does very well when he's fixing problems. Now, listen, people refer to Everton. Yep. The whole time he was at Everton, he was fixing problems. He got relegated to Sunderland. You can't even refer to that. But at Everton for 10 years, he didn't have a pot to piss in. Not a pot to piss in. The whole time he was there, he was fixing problems. It was always overachieving and stuff like that.
He spent 160, 70 million pounds.
He don't know what to do. But he don't know what to do with these players.
Name outside.
Mate,
name outside.
What do you mean?
Name all the injuries.
Name all the injuries. What fucking injuries?
What do you mean?
We have had a lot of defensive injuries. I think he's right there. John's right there. We have had a lot of
mate, every team gets injuries, though.
Yeah, we do. Listen.
Listen. I'm not going to dismiss your argument because you've got every right to be Moyes in. You have, and I do appreciate it as well. So I don't mean to shout you down.
I'm on the fence. I'll tell you why I'm on the fence. Yeah. If you don't mind me saying that, it's so many people jumping on the bandwagon. 2 years. It was last year. Leon away. We'll celebrate. Yeah, we think we're going up this year to the top 7 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right, we're struggling. Fifth and bottom, fourth and bottom tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just John. John, I'm like you, mate. I've been staunch Moyes in for a long time, right? But it after the Palace game, honestly, I was there. I was there today.
Piss poor.
Yeah, it was piss poor, and that's the thing that's annoyed me. Look, I love Moyes. I love what he's done for us. People can shake it off or whatever they want to say, but he's brought a sense of respectability back to our club to some extent, right? And he has. I'm sorry.
You say that, right? He scored the other day. Benrahma got a wonder goal top corner. Why did he get brought off 15 minutes after? Why? Tell me why.
I can't answer that.
None of us know.
Absolute quality little player. Absolute quality. Bowen, top goal scorer last season. All right, he ain't done it this season, so we're all going to jump over Bowen's back. Over what?
But
mate, he's been poor all year, mate. No, listen, the reason, and this is the other thing as well, and John said this as well. John is probably one of the most balanced fans that I know. But John will back me up on this.
Good. I was watching him for an hour. Yeah. He's very good.
But the fact is, when you are playing a player that is out of form for so long, you ain't doing them any favours. You're not protecting them.
So who'd you bring in that position, Nick?
Mate, you could have brought anyone in. You could put Lanzini on a fucking right wing that would have done as much as what Bowen's done just recently.
Yeah, he had a couple of good games. He had a couple of good games, didn't he?
Go on, kick out.
No, but that's no.
If Schumacher goes off, but Antonio, right? Let's be honest. In the panel now in the comments, can Antonio truck a bag of cement? Let's be honest.
No, but no.
Is he that good?
No.
My son's a professional footballer, right? I ain't to mention blah blah. And we look at the game like today. Let's look at it today. We're all saying, yeah, we was good, we was unlucky, Moyes on the interview, blah blah blah. We was piss fucking poor. We're shit. We are shit. We're shit. Who do you bring in? Who do you bring in up than Moyes?
I don't think. No. What I'm saying is, but this is what I'm trying to say to you, and I said the same to Dave. What you can, the only thing that we can do as fans is you can kind of we react to the now, to the current. And the fact of the matter is,
we can pay £7 a pint. We can pay £7 a pint.
But we know, and you've admitted it yourself that at the moment it's not working in the league. It's not working.
It ain't worth nothing.
No, and there is nothing to suggest it's going to work. So for someone to say who you're going to bring in, that isn't really, it's not really an argument because that ain't our problem. We don't suggest, we'd like to bring in, but if I say Poch, that doesn't mean we're going to go and get Poch.
No, John.
Listen, do you really think Pochettino would go to West Ham, really?
Why not? Listen, Emery's just gone to Villa. Wait. Lopetegui, who is a fucking...
You've got Unai Emery at Villa that's done absolutely, let's be honest, fuck all at the Arsenal.
He's a successful manager, John.
Yeah, but Nick, I think...
manager in what?
What do you mean what? He's won shit tons in Europe. He's a successful manager.
Nick, I don't
think
Moyes.
What did he do in the Premier League? The hardest division in the world. What did he do?
John, how much Moyes has managed for 5,000 years? How many trophies has he won?
Yeah, great point. Great point. No, don't put me off here. I want to talk to you about things. But listen. Listen, was he last year? Moyes in, mate, we couldn't believe it. Leon away at home in the Europe. Was he one of them? Yeah, he was one of them.
What's that?
We all were, of course. He was excited about last season. Yeah.
I won't say that I wasn't excited about when we're doing well.
The quality of the signings that we brought in, right? We didn't know he was going to play this shit against Brighton at home, Palace at home, against Leicester at home, against Blackburn. Yeah? We didn't know none of this. These players gel together yet, let's be honest. Your Paquettas, your Schumackers, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what.
Mate, they're going backwards. They ain't gelling. They ain't going backwards.
I don't see what he's actually aiming for with the gelling of the players together, of the transition. I don't see what the target is.
Transition,
you know what I mean?
Great word. So where would you be at if we'd have started off? Say we was on 24 points now, right, in the 10th position. Where would you be at as a transition now going forward as a West Ham supporter?
No, if we was mid-table and safe, if we was mid-table and safe from relegation,
right. If we was mid-table now, Nick, go on.
Yeah, then I wouldn't be calling for his head. We're 1 point above the relegation zone.
Yeah.
John sounds a bit like me a few weeks ago in so much as, John, answer me this question. Do you hope...
I bet John, listen, I guarantee...
John Lyle, all the days, 85, 86...
John, can I ask you something? John, can I ask you an honest question? Do you know in your cab...
Of course you.
I bet you got a sock over your card machine, didn't you?
No, I'm not one of them fuckers, right? I'm a proper black cat in London, right? I come from a family of, I'll be honest with you, the old man's a late night. The old man's Yo's. I'm West Ham through and through. I've been over there as a mascot, as a kid, you know what I mean? My favourite player in the world, Dixie. I had his brother, Julian Dix. We need a little bit of that in there at the minute. Declan Rice, listen.
Oh, he's brilliant tonight. Well, no, listen. Finish on a positive, John. How good was Declan Rice tonight?
Cool. Do you know what? He was, I've got to be honest, he was putting challenges in. If he'd have got a broken leg before the World Cup, we'd have been quite nervous tonight over our beer, you know? I mean, he's unbelievable. The thing is with the kiddies, you've got to remember, he's 24 years of age. I think he's a bit of a lost-minded boy at the minute because he's arch West Ham and the fans are probably getting on him like, he's trying a contract, do this, do that. And the thing is, you've got your Man Cities, you've got your Chelseas, you've got your you know what I mean, your Liverpools, who want to buy him for what, 90, 100 million. Can you imagine on the table now going, listen, there's 150k right on the table. Listen, you're going to win Champions League, but you've got fans driving him mad every day away down the Barking Road or whether fucking Stratford International, whatever. Do you know what I mean? How he feels the boy. He's a young kid, mate, a young boy. Listen, good luck to him. If he moves away from us, we get the dough in the bank, the 120, 130 million, whatever it is.
No one could have anything bad to say about him.
No, exactly. He's a special boy, mate. I think he's run his calls at West Ham. He's running his bollocks off, you know what I mean? Every 90 minutes he's doing it, whether it is away at Old Trafford, arguing at Chelsea at the bridge. Remember we had to go to Salad? Remember it was it by Cornet scored and he's rowing with a man and this, that, the other on YouTube or matches. But the kid's a special talent. They give him his credit, mate, if he knows.
Listen, John, you've been a great caller. Make sure you phone in again, but we've got to take some other calls. I've got 3 or 4 others. But you've been brilliant.
Mum and Dad and love and Londoners, you know what I mean? That's how it is.
I'm gonna save you in my phone as Telly Tibbs. Telly. Right, Telly. I'm going to call you Telly.
Let's hope we stay up this year. All right, love you, please.
Cheers, John.
Cheers, mate. See you later, geezer.
Cheers.
Right. I'm fucking exhausted now. He's worn me out.
Brilliant.
He's good, though. He's brilliant.
I like John. Yeah.
Someone in the chat said he's like Bother from Green Street.
Right, I'm going to bring Gary in quickly. Right. Gary, I didn't mean to shout at you. I didn't. Right, hang on. Telly. My name's Telly Tibbs.
Hello?
Gary, it's Nick from Claret and Booze. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you, mate? All right.
I'm very well, mate. Sorry about that. We had Telly on the phone. On the channel.
I heard him.
Right, Gary, I'm going to hand you over to the other Gary so that they can do some talking for a minute. Go on, Gal.
You all right, Gary? How you doing?
Hello.
Oh, I didn't know.
Hello, mate. How are you? All right?
Yeah, all right. How's Romford tonight? You finding it good?
I was going to say, you know, we've got a bit of a dilemma now, haven't we? You know, we've got this break now after the World Cup. The thing is, if we do sack Moyes and we get it wrong, we're down. Or good as, you know. All the other teams, I mean, Forest have won. I mean, the Leeds, they're all picking up points. And the thing is, you're only limited to the amount of managers. You're only limited to really the amount of managers out there who is available to you at the moment. That's the trouble.
Sorry, Gary. John's just put a graphic up on the stream saying Gary from Watford. I think we're.
We talk out here, Watford, mate.
Listen, I think you're right in one sense that if we get rid of Moyes now and bring in another manager, it might backfire and it might not work. But also, if we stick with Moyes, that might not work either.
No, Did you go today?
I did.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. The thing is, we didn't know whether he'd lost the dressing room or not. And I didn't see the game today. I missed it. But would you say?
Let me drop 1 minute.
Yeah. Do you think he's lost the dressing room, or was the effort there? It's not the quality.
The effort was there today. The players were trying. I wouldn't say he's lost the dressing room at all. No. I did start to think that against Palace.
Yeah. The thing is also, we've got these 8 players that have come in. Paquetta, Caretaker. The trouble is, there's a lot of input into the team in one go, and none of them have got much Premier League experience, and we're in a dogfight. And sometimes, when you're in a dogfight, you do need some scrappers in there. And, at the moment, I'm just wondering, is this a problem? You've got these players coming in, and it takes some players can hit the ground running. But I've got a feeling with these lads, it's going to take them a while to adjust, and we haven't got that time. I know we've still got a lot of games to go, but it's like quicksand down there. Once you're down there, it's hard to get out of it. And I'd like to know what annoys me about some West Ham fans. They're so negative sometimes, and we can't get him, or we can't get him. I agree with Nick. Money talks, and we've got the second highest attendance in this country. We've got 62,500 in that stadium. We're in Europe. We've got some world-class players there. So I don't see why we can't attract a top manager, in terms of bringing who we want. But I don't want to, can I ask you a question there? If it was a choice of Dyche or Benitez, would you go for that, or would you stick with Moyes? Because I heard someone else say about Kevin Nolan, but it's too much of a gamble. He's got no experience.
Nolan, to qualify that, right? Nolan, I suggested as a caretaker manager until the next manager comes in, not as a permanent replacement. I don't want Dyche. I don't want Benitez, because I think we'd be back here where we are now with Moyes if we did that. I think we've moved off in a different direction with these signings, signed some real quality, some real flair players, some ball players, and we need a manager who can make use of those new parts. I don't think Moyes can.
I think you're right, but the same token, my concern is, you're down there now. It's a scrap. And playing ticky-tacky football at the moment in the Premier League, it's a tough league. And we're in a very awkward position. I heard some fans the other day saying, we're not in a relegation fight, it's a game to go. I've heard this song before, we went down a few years ago with a really good side.
I think the bottom 10, the bottom 8 are in a relegation fight, and I don't think we're exempt to that from that,
Yeah.
The only thing is, Gary, the only thing is, some of these teams, Southampton, Wolves, Villa, they've already beat us. They've already made the change and got their managers in. And of course, the longer you leave it, the less selection you've got.
Yeah, and also the less attractive it'll be to an incoming manager, because they want time on their side, right? And this can end up being a panic. Like, if we leave it another 4 games, then before you know it, Europe's coming round again. FA Cup starts and everything else. You've got a packed agenda. And the games are coming thick and fast. What would you do then? So, say for instance, Moyes hangs around. Just listening to what you just said, when Moyes first came in, when he rescued us twice from relegation, that was attritional football where he put players in who wanted a battle and were up for the fight. Would you say that we should be doing that again now?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. I think at the moment, as much as people, Scamacca is a quality striker in a relegation fight, would Antonio perhaps be, run the channel, put himself about? I'm not saying he's a better player than Scamacca, because he's not. Yeah. But I'm saying we are in a scrap now, and the trouble is, after the World Cup, you've got Arsenal away. I can't just get anything there. No. So we could be in the bottom 3 bar that first game. And then we've got Brentford and Leeds. There's no easy games there. There's no easy points. I think some fans have got to wake up here. What do you think they're going to do, honestly, you 3 of you? Do you think they'll stick with Moyes? Do you think he'll be gone before the next game?
I think personally, I've been going back and forth over this over the week. I was dead sure on Tuesday that if he lost this game, he would go. Then I've been listening to other things that have been going on, and I've kind of started to think otherwise. But do you know what? You've only got to look at his demeanour to see the level of pressure that he knows that he's under now. I think if they can get another manager in, which they will definitely be going out to get, I think he's gone. It probably will come down to that. I think it will come down to whether or not they can actually get someone else in that they want. And he's gone.
Yeah.
Or he might just be gone straight away. I think as Gary said earlier on, and as John said, we've got options. You've got Nolan, and with all due respect, Warburton, people keep on turning their nose up at him. I think as a caretaker manager, he'd probably be all right. Nick, I don't think he's not been terrible. I'm not saying I want him, John.
No, I know.
All I'm saying is no. But John, at the minute, there is a problem. There is a rot in there at the moment, and it needs to be removed.
Let me just say something to you though. The Warburton situation, I don't like the way the fucking guy's ended up there. He's ended up with that job.
I agree with
that. So he's ended up with that job almost like through the back door, favours for mates. If we believe what we've heard, he's ended up with that job to keep someone's mate happy, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like about the whole situation. It fucking stinks. He shouldn't be there. He hasn't been picked as a coach to do anything. He's got his mate's mate a job. That's the thing that fucking annoys me. That's why I don't want him in charge.
But look, at the same time, if David Moyes could retain the backroom staff, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Maybe so.
No.
Maybe
yeah.
I think that's a good point, actually. I think losing Pierce, Noble, and
Irvine.
What's the other guy who left?
Pierce.
Nevin?
Irvine, Nevin.
Irvine, Pierce,
there's mate. And is McKinley, is he still there or is he gone as well?
No, McKinley went a while ago, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's so many, mate. He's only been there 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Right, whoever it is calling in from Dartford, England, call me back in a minute, for fuck's sake.
Dartford, England. Wow.
Dartford. Dartford. Yeah, call me back. Or I'll call you back.
Yeah. So it
is difficult. Who was your choice? Just say Gary for now at the moment. What would your preference be? Would it be at the moment? Do you think at the minute, even if you want to accept it or not, and do you think we've got to move on past Moyes now? Is that how you feel, or do you not?
Well, the trouble is, if we stick with Moyes, what's he going to change? In 4 weeks' time, he's still going to play Suchek and Bowen. He's still going to do the same selections, making the same mistakes. Obviously, Potts would be the ideal person, the younger manager, what he done at Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'll be honest here. See, another thing is, what's not being said about here, a lot of fans, including like Nick mainly, of course, he's talking about the style of football we're playing and they're fed up with it.
Yeah.
But under Dyche and Benitez, it'd be no different.
No, it'd be terrible.
If you're going to change it, it's a really tricky situation we're in. It really is.
No,
it's not a matter of someone's going to walk through the door and we're going to start winning week after week.
Do you know there is an argument with Dyche, though? And there is. I'm not saying I want him, by the way, because I really fucking don't.
I know what you're going to say.
There is an argument with Dyche. There is an argument with Dyche to say that he is just a manager that does his best with what he's got. He's never had a situation where he's been able to do anything different. He's a manager that plays 4-4-2. He plays with two up front, but he's never had a situation where he's had any resources. We don't know what type of manager Dyche would be in a different situation. You don't know. No one knows.
The thing is also, if we knew in hindsight, crystal ball, whoever came in and kept us up, we'd accept that just to stay in the Premier League. But the biggest shame is, what do we do about the conference? Because obviously I don't want us to throw that, because obviously it's a trophy we can win and we're back in Europe again.
Yeah, but the good thing about the Conference League now is that when we come back at the end of December, we ain't got to think about the conference till March. So you've got 2.5 months to get your league form up and running and get a bit of stability in the league. Hopefully, whoever will be in charge, you can sort of put that on the back burner for a couple of months.
Yeah, but what if we're still in the bottom three in March?
Yeah, good question.
But then it's too late. It's too late. Then I'm not saying it's an irrecoverable situation, but. You are then, and this has always been my argument. This is why I was ready to go after game 5, game 6, because I thought with the amount of money that we've spent, with the players that we've got, with the fact that we was in Europe, I thought this was our opportunity to really push on, attract another top manager. That we were an attractive proposition. I do think that the more of this season that expires, the less attractive we become. I do believe that if we're in the bottom three,
we've got to try to get Cornet fit and Antonio, because at the moment it's right saying leave Bowen out if you can do on the right hand side, but you've got no one really can go in there. Antonio could play there, but he wasn't available today, I noticed. We haven't got Cornet either. I think also the transfer window in January, we need to get a couple more in, but we've got to get players in to fit in the fact that we're in a relegation scrap.
Here's another one, Gary. Based on Moyes' recent transfer activity, where he spent 180 million, if you was the owner of the club, would you be giving David Moyes any more money?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's available. I mean, in the day.
No, but I'm saying if you base it on that, would you give him any more money though at the moment, or would you say, listen, we've just given you fuckloads. You bought 8 players in.
They might say to him, you've got to sell to buy. You know, maybe one of the players going out. It comes to it. The bottom line, we can't get relegated. I mean, because that's 180 million down the drain. You know, and it puts us back years. Yeah. So it's a tricky one. I don't know where we got to this really. We've slowly slid into this, but it's a very big decision to make. And I'm looking back, looking at the selection. Thing is, we don't know. Have they approached Poch? Obviously, we don't. I would have thought he ain't doing nothing. I mean, could they not put him on a short-term contract and say, look, they come to the end of the season and then see how it goes. If you want to extend it.
Listen, maybe I'm bizarre. People keep on referring to an interview that Poch has done recently where he said he wants to go to a top club. I am sorry. After the last 2 years, with what we've just done with the statement that we've just made in the summer, ignore our fucking league position. I do genuinely feel that West Ham are a top team now. I can't help it. I know we're not Man City, but I think we're a top team now. I think we are.
Nick, the last 2 years we're established top 7 club.
Yeah.
And in fact, we were 2 years ago. We were 2 points off Champions League, and even last season, I still maintain if he wasn't in the Europa last year, we would have got top 4. I maintain that.
Or if we'd have gone out and bought someone in fucking January like we needed to.
Well, this is a trouble. Another problem we done. Them 8 players, it should have been spread over 2 transfers, not in one go.
100%.
It should have been like 2 or 3 of those should have been in last year. And then perhaps now we'll be playing in the Champions League. Perhaps we would have won that Europa League with extra 2 or 3.
Yeah, but people saying, I know what John's going to say. He's going to say, oh, well, a lot of the players might not have been available. Are you telling me we couldn't have got a Cornet or a fucking Emerson in January? Yes, we could have.
No, because if you think about
mate, you can make signings. You can make signings in January, John. We did. We signed Suchik. We signed Bowen in January.
Let me go. Hang on a minute. But all the players we bought were either fighting relegation or fighting in Europe. Emerson was at Lyon. Paquetta was at Lyon. They was going well in Europe. Cornet was at Burnley.
I agree. Paquetta and Skamaka, you're not going to get them. We was never going to get Nunes from Benfica, but you can get the lower ends of the spectrum. Yes, you can. You can. Well, same as, you know what? And the thing is, John, and the fact is, if we're in the bottom 3, which we're not at the moment, but come January, if they're going to keep Moyes, they're probably going to have to give him money to spend. You watch the players coming in January. They'll sign players in January if we need them.
Do you think Poch will come to us with his Tottenham connections?
Why not? He ain't got. They dumped him.
I'm asking.
They got rid of him end of the day.
They dumped him.
I know, but
yeah. I mean, also you say about can't get players in January, but look at Brereton Diaz. I mean, he won across the fortune, and he looks more than useful.
Well, John's been blowing his trumpet.
I've been blowing his trumpet for about a year. Gary from Brentford. He's a good player.
Yeah,
I know. I'm going to go back to a comment that Troj made up here actually, because there's been a debate going on in the chat about Skamaka versus Antonio, and this isn't me dismissing Antonio. And the thing is, look, I'm going to say in the Antonio in the Moyes system, Troj has simply said, I would rather play versus Skamaka than Antonio, I suppose, if you're a centre-back. I think that's probably true. Would you agree with that, John?
In the Moyes system, yeah. In the Moyes system.
But the thing is, he may come to the point where a new manager came in, he might do what we all want him to do and play both of them. You know, play Antonio one side, Benrahma the other.
Yeah.
And then you could play 4 nails in the 10, and then you could do the big thing then. The big decision then is, if you're playing the 2 holding players, you're obviously going to play Rice. You've got 3 players to play alongside him. If you play 4 nails in the 10, you've got Suchek, which we don't really want. You've got the young lady we just got in. I forgot his name. And Downs.
Flynn Downs.
I wonder if you could play Paquetta in a deeper role alongside, because Paquetta does put his foot in.
Yeah, no. Personally, I think he proved it today, though, Gary. I think, and apparently for Brazil. See, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not. I don't know. Whoever it is phoning from Dartford, I'll call you back as soon as we finish this call. For fuck's sake. Right. Right. All it is with Paquetta, apparently, he's Brazil do use him as a deeper midfielder, and I do think. Do you know something? You're right. He has got that tenacity about him. Yeah, he might need to learn to tackle a little bit better, but because he's an angry bastard. He had the ump today. He wanted to kill someone.
Well, I'll tell you something. The interesting thing be when we play in the World Cup, and we're all going to be able to watch Paquetta play for Brazil, and then we'll see exactly how good he really is.
But he's playing. When you see him play, but he's playing with far better players.
He'll play in a free. He'll play in a free, John. He'll play in a free.
I know.
And you could do that. You could play Paquetta, Rice, and Downs or Fornells, and you could play Benrahma and Antonio either side, and play Skamaka in the middle if Bowen continues to play out of form.
Trini Hammer completely agrees with you. He says spot on caller. Paquetta plays deeper in the 3 or 2 in midfield. So possibly somebody in Trini that maybe knows more about him than me. I must admit, I don't know much about him. I've seen him play probably half a dozen times, and one of those was against us.
Yeah.
I in my mind, do you know what I thought we was buying? I thought we was buying someone who could pick the ball up and just
unlock.
Fucking ring. He ain't that type of player. Yeah, he ain't that type of player, and he's not. It doesn't mean he's a bad player, but he's not the type of player I thought he was. Is what I mean.
No. No.
Maybe
that's another thing. See, one of the advantages of if he did get rid of Moyes is you've got a new manager going to come in. He's going to sit and look at this, and he might walk straight in and think, right, I'm playing Paquetta alongside Rice. It's Suchek is not in the team. Bowen's not in the team. These players, all these favourites, it's all gone. That all disappears. Yeah. And then you've got Paquetta, Rice. Then you've got Fornells, and you've got Benrahma. That's a lot of creativity in the middle of the park, which we've been lacking. And Fornells can link it all up, you know. And then but I think Antonio, we've got to try playing. He hasn't played a lot of games this year, and he ain't going to be like he's jaded or worn out. And then maybe just start to overpower teams, mix it up a bit more, you know. Get the set piece back again. Start getting a bit nasty, you know, and get back to where he was 2 years ago.
I agree, mate. I agree. And listen, Gary, as always, mate, fantastic call. Before we go, final word. What do you think is going to happen with David Moyes, and what would you like to happen? Don't forget what's going to happen next. What do you think is going to happen, and what do you think is, and what would you like to happen?
Well, I'd like to get Pochettino. Or maybe Mancini from Italy. Mm-hmm. But what I think the trouble is,
Mancini's a good shout. Mancini's a good shout.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know whether they'll hold their nerve or not. I don't know because they've invested a lot of money in this. They might think if they can't see any change in it, then they might think he's got to go. So, but I want to answer, Nick. Be true with you, because you don't know what their mindset is, do you? Yeah. You might find Fitinci wants him gone, and Sullivan wants to keep him on. There could be a split ball there.
There's a really good shout here before you go from Eddie O. Here is a left field choice that I wouldn't mind. Gary, following that tweet that you sent out the other day to us about potential managers that we're linked with, Marcelo Gallardo, I think he's a River Plate manager, and he's basically he's a young Bielsa, if you like. Doesn't speak English at the moment, but this guy. He's world renowned. He plays beautiful fucking football, and that would be an ambitious signing if we was to get someone like him. Like I say, look, listen, Bielsa went to Leeds. He can't speak a word of English, and he did amazing with them. He did amazing with them.
Yeah, we've got to start thinking a bit bigger. And some of the West Ham fans have got to get this small club mentality out their heads. You know, end of the day, we are a big club. We're playing in front of 62,500. The only club bigger than that is Manchester United in this country.
Yes.
You know, and we've been in Europe for the last 2 years, and we've been close to the Champions League for 2 years. We've been that close, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And we've got to get this one right, whatever we do.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Right, Gary, thank you. Great call, mate. I'm going to phone whoever it is.
Gary.
I've been abusing from Dartford for the last 5 minutes.
All right, lad, you take it easy with you. Anyway.
Thank you.
See you later.
Mate. Great
Gary,
call, mate.
cheers, mate.
Speak to you soon.
Brilliant show.
Cheers, Gary. Thanks, mate. We've had some good callers tonight, haven't we?
We have, yeah. We always get good calls.
Let's phone Mr. Dartford, whoever this is.
He might not answer there.
Could be my boss. They're based in Dartford. Hello there. It's Nick from Claret and Booze.
Yeah, hello, mate. Just wondered if anybody's considered Stuart Pearce and Dave Moyes' place.
Well, before we get started, what's your name? And I know you're from Dartford because you came up with my phone.
Yeah, Alan, nice to meet you.
Yeah, love to. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, first time caller. I've never rung you before.
No, we'll make sure you do again. Make sure. I called you back. We was on a call when you tried to phone in, so that's all it is. So that's why
sorry,
I couldn't
mate.
pick up.
Sorry, I
right.
did leave a message to you.
That's all right.
I did leave a message on your answer phone.
I'm not.
On your message
I don't have a very good phone manner. I'm terrible as a switchboard person. I am. I get stressed.
Basically, he's rude. He's rude.
I get stressed.
That's funny. What do people think about getting Stuart Pearce back as caretaker manager?
Go on, John. Not a bad chat, is it? Go on, John.
Yeah, Stuart Pearce.
Sorry, mate. Can you turn your TV down or whatever it is in the background if that's all right?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Hang on a minute.
That's all right. There you go. That's better.
Stuart, I think Stuart Pearce is a good coach. If I'm honest, I'm not sure about manager, but yeah, look, I wouldn't say no because he knows the club, he knows the fans, he's got passion at the very least. But I'm just not sure as a long-term project how it would be, But maybe short-term,
He managed Man City, didn't he? He managed Man City for a while.
Yeah, he did, but he put David James up front in the game. Remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why we're playing so bad.
What was
what left?
But for you to be
for Pearce is left, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for you to be taking it.
The bloke is like a winner.
For you to be taking that slant though, at the moment. So are you saying in your mind, are you have you arrived at the point now where you think that Moyes is done now with Moyes?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Can I just say? This is the first time I've ever wanted the West Ham manager to leave.
Yeah.
In 40 years.
And it is a shame. And do you know what? I think I settled on something today as well because I've been vehemently Moyes out for a long time, like almost aggressively Moyes out.
Ooh,
and that's why but John misunderstands and other people do sometimes because the thing is, the fact is, when it's arrived at the point today where I think it's almost done. Sorry, mate. We've got an echo. Have you got us on your phone by any chance?
No, I've also turned the TV down as well.
Oh, top man.
No.
That's fine. I can hear myself, and I'm really fucking annoying. That's all it is. I don't want to hear myself talking.
He annoys himself.
Can I just say the only other manager that I wanted out was Abraham Grant.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for him to leave, but this is the first time since that I want the West Ham manager to leave. Slaven Bilic, I didn't want to leave.
I love Slav.
And this is the first time I wanted the West Ham manager to go.
I know, but like I say, I arrived at that point, and I have. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate what he's done. And almost there is a part of me as well. Look, listen. First and foremost, I'm a West Ham fan, and I'm worried we're going to get relegated because you've only got to look at the trend. You've only got to look at the trend of the last year. Unless something changes, we're probably going to go down unless something changes. But at the same time,
can I also just say that when John Lyall got us relegated, I cried. Now, I cried for two reasons. We got relegated and then because John Lyall got the sack.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, that's how deeply I am a West Ham fan.
Well, I think I was the same with that. I was the same with John Lyall. I loved John Lyall because he was the only manager I'd ever known managing West Ham, and it was a tragedy. It was a tragedy what happened to him. Yeah.
Do you know? Can I ask you something? How long have you been supporting West Ham, Alan?
49 years.
49 years. So now we've had this argument where people have said. So you obviously watched. You've experienced John Lyall. You went through the whole thing with John Lyall. So. Yeah. We've had people make references to the time with John Lyall and the fact that, you know, he won cups and that he had relegations and people still stuck with him and this, that, the other. But can I ask you something? Because my gripe, like I proved today with my post-match review, where I wasn't fucking scathing like I normally am, with me, his style of football. Did John Lyall bore the shit out of people with the way that he set his teams up, or did he try to play good football for his period?
Well, I'll tell you what, I thought he played. He played a good defence. They're very, very good defence.
Yeah.
Billy Bond and Elvin Martin.
Yeah.
His attack was very good. David Cross and Paul Goddard.
Yeah.
And his midfield was very good with Trevor Brooking and whoever else played alongside Trevor Brooking. The best team that I've seen in years.
But was that? Would you regard them as a boring team?
No.
Even though the Lyall team,
I was only 12. I was only 12 years of age then, and but I do appreciate football a lot more now than I did then. So
Yeah.
I think even though Lyle went through...
I am now bored of it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Well, go on, Gal, what was you saying?
I was just saying, even though Lyle went through like evolutions, he had a long stint at the club, didn't he? And I don't think he ever came away from trying to play attacking football, irrespective of who he had available to him. You know, he'd always try. He'd always try to do that.
Yeah.
Nick, I can also say another manager that I did admire and who did play crisp, good passing was Zola.
Oh yes, that was that. Do you know what? That was a good period. I mean, do you remember like the likes of he got the best out of Carlton Cole, didn't he, John? Zola.
Yeah, I think sometimes Zola goes under the radar with sort of West Ham. I think because he sort of went out with a bit of a meh. Do you know what I mean? It was
yeah.
But we did play good football under him. Yeah, I'm guilty of it. I forget him sometimes. I don't know why, but
you know what? With that, I mean, with Zola, the points that we finished on, we really should have been relegated, right?
Yeah,
and I think that's
maybe,
why he lost his job. But I'll tell you what, I think everybody over at West Ham wanted Zola to succeed. Everyone liked him.
Yeah.
You know, it was a shame.
Yeah, no, it was a shame, and I think this is a shame. I think what's happened with David Moyes is a shame. I do think I felt it was always going to come with him. I didn't. Do you know something? I will say I didn't expect such a capitulation. I didn't expect this. This is worse than I fucking expected. I've always had my reservations about Moyes. You know, you used to know I have. I've always had my reservations about him, but I never expected this. He's collapsed.
Yeah.
Nick, in the past, what is the best West Ham DVDs that you watch in the past? Because mine is Alan Pardew's the era.
Oh, yeah. I like. Do you know what? Kind of when I really fell in love with West Ham, and I've like Gary, my brother's been taking me for fucking years. He took me when I had no interest in football when I was a kid. But when I really fell in love with football was in the Harry Redknapp years. Yeah, it was. I love.
It's quite late because you must have been 16 then, 17.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I've followed West Ham my whole life.
No, I know you have. I'm just saying.
But that was when I really fell in love with it. To be honest, John, that's my earliest, fondest memories of West Ham that I can really think of. You know, the Canio years and stuff like that. Prior to that, it was fine. It was all right. It was good. You know, I followed them, but we didn't really do much. But then when Harry came along, it was exciting. It was brilliant.
Again, though, you know, Harry, right? Harry, now don't take this the wrong way. I don't want Harry back. Harry's done. But I'm just saying, what would Harry do with this group of players that we've got here?
He would love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, Benrahma, he would literally, Benrahma would be twice the player he is now, because what Harry Redknapp was, that I don't think David Moyes is a man manager. He could identify the different characteristics of people and what they needed.
Redknapp would put no defensive shackles on Benrahma. He'd say, Benny, free roll. He wouldn't say that, kick him back.
Yeah.
He would, mate. He'd say, do what you want.
If we can't get Poch, I still go with Piercy as our caretaker manager for the right to the end of the season.
I think
the bloke is a winner.
I think if Poch comes in,
the bloke is a winner.
If Poch comes in, he brings his own team with him. I think he's got his own team wherever he's been. They follow him around.
If Poch comes in, then obviously Piercy, he's done his time. But I was going to get Piercy into the end of the season.
Yeah.
Nice. And then get Poch in during the summer.
Yeah, mate. I completely agree with you, Alan. Absolutely great call, mate. Thank you so much for calling in.
Cheers, Alan.
Listen. Before,
I do love your program, by the way.
Thank you very much. Before you go, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Gary.
Our program.
Let me know what you think is going to happen with David Moyes in the World Cup break, and what you would like to happen. So, what you think is going to happen, and what you would like to happen.
What I just said, really, get Stuart Pearce in. This is caretaker manager. The end of the season and get Moyes in next week. Get rid of Moyes instantly, as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm kind of with you.
And get Poch in during the summer.
Yeah, well, if we can get Poch, there's no reason why we can't get fucking Poch in now. He's doing nothing. He's scratching his arse somewhere, and I don't know where he is. He's probably
waiting for Conte.
You don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. If we can't get him in now, get him in during the summer.
Yes.
He's waiting for the Spurs job. He's waiting for the Spurs job.
Mate, why is he going to go back there? He can't work with Levy. But anyway, Alan, thank you, mate. Great call.
Cheers, Alan.
See you later, mate. See you later, Nick. I do love your program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call back in.
There you go. Bye.
Our program.
Cheers.
Our program.
Our program, not Nick's.
Not Nick's, because he takes over. Just saying that. Why is this geezer coming on here? Big up, guys. Arsenal fan from India. Block him.
Hi, Robert.
No, he's all right. He's saying big up, guys. He ain't mugging us off.
That's all right.
Good point. Yeah,
that's all right. That's fine. That's fine.
Hodge or Pierce? No.
I'm going to phone one. I'm going to see if I can do this offline. Carry on. Go through the comments.
Who are you phoning offline?
Well, there's people been trying to call me, haven't they? Hang on.
Do one more, yeah? Do one more and then...
My first game was 1977.
Well, I might have a few more, Gary. I know you're struggling, but you're going to have to suck it up. Sorry.
My first game was 1977. I weren't born then, Mr. Mace, but there you go. Totally responsible for the wreck of a man I turned into. This is a great point, and we said this guy over there, didn't we? Moyes looked like a forlorn figure.
Yeah,
Moyes looked drained tonight. So, you know what I noticed with Dex at the end? He sat on the ball and had his head in his hands at the final whistle.
Oh, man.
I just felt so because he busted a gut, and when you see someone like that who just gives it their all game in, game out, I mean,
honestly, no matter what, I think whoever said it earlier, I think it was John the cabbie.
Hello there, it's Nick from Claret and Booze.
Fucking talking, mate. You shouting us down. What's going on here?
I know.
Don't worry about him too. Anyway, it's mate. What's your name anyway? What's your name? Where you from?
It's Kev, mate. I'm from Cambridgeshire.
Ah, there you go. Nice to meet you.
Is it?
Kev. Did you say it's Kev?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
It's Kev from Cambridgeshire. Kev, nice to meet you, mate. Nice to meet you. What would you like to talk about tonight?
You haven't met him, just so you know you're speaking to him.
We're virtually meeting. You bearded bastard.
I think this is a very interesting discussion on what is actually realistically possible and what is likely to happen, if I'm honest. I mean, does anyone actually know what... Do we know what Moyes' payout might be if we do sack him? Because I think that's got a big factor on whether we actually get rid or not.
Listen, but comparatively, compared to other managers, I think he's on about $5 million a year. He's contracted until, I thought it was the end of this season. It's not. It's 2024. So he's contracted until the end of... the end of next season, basically. Yeah. So he's got this season and next. So it's not a massive payout, not comparative to some. And the fact of the matter is, what you got to look at, we've just spent 180 million. So say we've got to pay him out. Say you got to pay him $7.5 million for just to get rid of him. We've just spent 180 million on a squad that is depreciating rapidly. We're also what is dropping out the Premier League worth?
They really pay it in one hit to a manager. They usually They usually carry on paying weekly. Right?
This is what I mean. So I agree with you. John just said Kev from the Shires. Kev from the Shires.
Sorry.
The other thing is, I think people are forgetting as well that it's not just what we've just spent this season. We've got people like Vlasic, who he's paid, I don't know, 26 odd million pounds for. Yeah. And I don't think Vlasic is a flop because he's clearly gone to Torino and he's ripped that league apart the first 3 or 4 games.
What's got Haller, isn't it? And Anderson as well. We're forgetting Anderson.
Yeah. He's doing well. Do you know what? Haller's an interesting one for me because I always rated him. I didn't get the stick that he got from the fans at all. I thought he was a bit of a Berbatov style player that was just he'd make the later run, if that makes sense. That was a clever run.
Yeah. And
I think we're getting the same now with Scamacca and Paquetta, where they're actually too clever for the players they're playing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I think do you know what? They look out of place, don't they?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how these players perform at the World Cup around players and setups that they're clearly suited for, because I think that, if they shine, it then really does put a lot more pressure on Moyes and goes, well, why can't you do the same, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, we won't see Scamacca because Italy are not there, but we will definitely see Paquetta because he is a mainstay in that team. I mean, he is so important that apparently when he was injured, Brazil flew a fucking physio over to keep an eye on him and stuff like that. But apparently he is key to the way that they play.
So I mean, Scamacca's an interesting one, really, isn't it? Because I mean, Moyes said for I don't know, it was 2 or 3 transfer windows, I'm not wasting my money. I will wait for the player that I want to buy to replace Haller. he's then gone all out and brought Skamaka, who for me isn't dissimilar to Haller.
Yeah.
No,
and we're still playing the same system and setup.
But this is where it comes back to, and this is my argument is, and it actually is that David Moyes didn't make any of these fucking signings. I don't think he did because I don't think he knows what to do with them.
Do you actually believe that? Or do you think Newman has more of an influence?
No, I believe it. I think David Moyes proved in January when one or two players could have got us top 4, not top 7. We was onto a good thing. We was shit. How we finished top 7. When you look at our form at the tail end of that year, how we finished top 7 is unbelievable. If we'd have signed a couple more players, we'd have been top 6 easy. We could have pushed for more.
Yeah,
that was an amazing opportunity, but he didn't want to do it. He was dragging his heels at the start of this window as well. And I personally believe that somebody has stepped in. And they've gone, no, Dave, this is bollocks. Because I think David Moyes knows where his comfort zone is. I think this he wants a long project. And I've said this before. I think David Moyes does know where his comfort zone is. And that is kind of overachieving with not very much. He doesn't put pressure on him. He's proved that probably to himself when he went to Man United, when he's got an embarrassment of riches. And he's got an embarrassment of riches now. And he's just, he doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't. Yeah,
I feel a bit uncomfortable slagging Moyes as well because
I do now. I do now.
I've been there home and away in the Championship and watching the shit and the dross that we rolled up in there. I mean, I took my 8-year-old lad to the Frankfurt game in the semi-final, and I'm not going to lie, he's probably had one night of a better experience than I'll ever have, even though we lost.
Yeah,
and you've got to say, Moyes got us to that point, and fair play to him for that point. But there has to be that area where you go, at this point, can you take us any further?
Exactly.
And I'm not going to lie, at the game last week at Palace, I mean, I took him and his mate, who's 8 as well, bless him, and the atmosphere at the end just completely and utterly turned. And I've been in atmospheres like that over all the years. Yeah. And I said to my mate on the way home, I said, it's gone. He's lost it.
Yeah.
The fans have turned completely against him now.
Yeah, they have. And the thing is, and where he went incredibly wrong as well was because, do you know something? This year, there's not been booing in the stadium up until a few games ago. And that is purely because he had credit in the bank. That's because people like Gary, like John, and like probably 99% of the rest of the West Ham fans were literally patient with him because of what he's done. Rightly so. They were patient with him. And then what he did when he came out with those comments at the end of that Palace game, the mask fucking slips a little bit. I know he was under pressure, but that was wrong. To refer to us as experts and demean us the way that he did there, that was wrong. You don't do that. And do you agree with that, Gary?
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I think he kind of said a similar thing today, not quite as horrible, but when he kind of put the fans down, in my mind anyway, by saying, oh yeah, the fans want us to be, they used to be in top 6, top 7, and now they want to be, but we all want to win the league. Talking about us like we're idiots. We're not. We're West Ham fans who've got realistic expectations, right? We don't expect. At the beginning of this season, when we're doing our predictions, we were predicting like 10th. Whatever. But anyway, the one thing I will take a great cup run in the Conference League and staying up, right? That's fine. But I just don't want to be in a relegation dogfight. I don't want to be in that relegation dogfight.
If we were mid-table and secure, you would look at even kind of trying to ignore the Blackburn result, which was that is a real kick in the nuts when you look at all the teams that have just gone out of that competition. That was Gary. I was actually not as angry as I thought I would be until I spoke to Gary that night, and he said, "Look at all the teams that have gone out. Yeah, fuck me, what an opportunity that is.
That's an interesting conversation for last year, though, wasn't it? Because I had this conversation with my mates again, and I said then, like, if you said to me now this season we go on and win the Europa Conference League, get in the Europa League for next season, and we're 12th, 13th, 14th, I'd bite your bloody hand off, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'd say
you just sit there and go, I think it would keep the kind of caliber of player we've got. We might still lose Rice. I think that's just inevitable, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But you say, like you said last year. Last year, I think he went into every cup competition too deep, and he should have sacked a few of the domestic ones off and just concentrated on the Europa League.
Here, I
played too many games with such a small squad, as usual.
Yeah,
churning the same players out time and time again. I mean, I'm not I'm not one of these that wants to get on Souček's back. I don't think he should be playing right now. But I do wonder if he's run the bloke into the ground. You know, is he physically burnt out that he just literally cannot play the minutes anymore?
Mate, I think there is an argument for that. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm not Souček's biggest fan. But the fact of the matter is, I think there is an argument. Well, it's more than an argument. When a player is that as obviously out of form as he has been, it's kind of almost like a duty of care for the manager to look after his players and to take him out of the firing line and look after him. He did the same with Antonio as well. He just kept on using him all the time when he was struggling. Sometimes you need to protect these players. You know, I think he has needed a rest. And do you know what? Moyes, he just fucking refuses. And some of these players, the way they've been playing, I'm not going to use Bowen in that because I don't know why Bowen's been struggling, but Souček certainly has played a lot of games. I will hold my hands up with that. He's played a lot of football over the past 2 years, you know, consistently. And same with Antonio, who's, you know, normally Mr. Injured. And these guys, they've not been looked after. And we've highlighted that on this show time and time again. John has, you know, he said the same thing.
I'll tell you one thing with Bowen in the last sort of 2 or 3 months, and it really winds me up at times, where you sit there and think every now and again, why do we not switch Benny and Bowen on to the other side, play on their natural side, hit the line all the way down the bottom, get the ball into someone like Skamaka who wants it on a cross, and yet he's consistently playing them on the opposite sides, trying to get them to cut back in on themselves.
We tried it once. Do you remember? I don't know what game it was, but we tried it once and it didn't work. It was a miserable failure.
Yeah. But he was up front for that game.
Yeah. I don't. Hang on, Kev from the Shires. I'm just going to pause you a minute. There's a debate going on in the chat at the moment from Keith Knight, where Keith has taken exception to the fact that we've been taking the piss out of. We haven't taken the piss out of any of our callers. I've been getting angry when people have been calling in when I've been calling because I'm very disorganised. We don't mock anyone that phones in. We don't.
No, we do mock them. Fuck it.
No, we don't mock them. We don't mock it.
In a loving way.
We don't mock anybody that calls into us. I love John. I loved everyone that's called in. You know, we haven't done that. So I'm sorry if that's how you've taken it. Then maybe you're a little bit too sensitive. We don't do that. Otherwise, Kev, would you have phoned in, Kev, if you thought we was?
No, right. I'm not going to lie, lads. This is the first time I've seen your show tonight, and I have subscribed. It's a really good show.
Good man,
so
good man.
I'll ring in, give my personal view.
No,
I haven't felt offended in any way, to be perfectly honest.
No. No.
You're a farmer, so you would you'd tell us straight away. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say things like that. Sorry.
I'm certainly not a farmer, but don't worry about it.
No, so anyway, Kev, so to sort of round this call off, in the same way as all the others, what do you think is going to happen with David Moyes, and what would you like to happen?
Right, I would like Potts, if I'm honest. I just think he's the progressive manager we need. There are a few managers being touted around who worry me a little bit. Benitez would be one. Dyche isn't one, actually, because I think I put a comment on earlier. I actually know a bloke who works for Dyche at another club who says he's massively underrated and deserves to go somewhere. He's also a West Ham fan, so that's
in the back of my mind, I vaguely remember that being said about Dyche before as well. You know,
yeah.
Sorry,
Dyche worries me because that is a name that keeps getting popped up every now and again.
Yeah, does it worry you though? Because
what name?
Do you know something? AVB, Andre Villa.
He's been out a long time.
I just feel like he's been a failure everywhere he's been.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he could be. He could find his home at. He plays a high-intensity game similar to Pochettino.
I'm not sure. He's been away from a long time.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll tell you, there's a sort of off-the-cuff name that no one's mentioned yet, and I was really impressed with him at another Premier League team, and he died at another one, and that's Nuno Espirito Santo, who went to Spurs.
Yeah.
And he played some really lovely football at Wolves.
He did at Wolves. He did at Wolves.
He did at Wolves. Again,
but you know,
Spurs the wrong club.
But you know what? Again, this is the type of thing. I think we just need some. We've got Newman now in the club. You know, he's come from Man City. We've got. I mean, we've got Noble in there now. We've got somebody that you would hope that they could consult with and try and identify a style of manager that could fit the group of players that we've got. because that's what needs to happen, you know. Or they could just watch Claret and Booze, and we could tell.
I mean, for that reason, I'd like Poch, because I think we've got a very, very good youth team as well. I mean, we've got a youth team that smashed Tottenham 9-0 in a cup final. Yeah. And Moyes is one of them players that, managers that just won't give him the chance in the Premier League.
Well, Moyes is systematically dismantled Johnson. Johnson's forgotten how to play football. Johnson was a promising player.
Yeah,
he looks terrible now.
I mean, I don't know if you follow where our youth team players are at the minute, but I mean, Longelo at Birmingham is getting rave reviews on the left side.
I know
he's highly enough of him.
Scored a blinder, didn't he? But didn't he play in a few times that he played for us with the senior team in the cup? He always looked decent.
He was the one.
He looked good in Europe. It was against Bucharest he played, I think.
Zagreb, against Zagreb.
Zagreb, sorry, that's it, yeah. And he played really well. Along with, to be fair, Elise, my mate's a Sunderland fan. Apparently he's ripping Sunderland's defence apart at the minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now a mainstay in their team, scored last week. And, you know, you sit there and go, are we letting these players go?
Yeah.
And they should be having a go.
Mate, I agree with you. I think there's been plenty of occasions. But John, you've said the same thing last year when we were struggling, and we had Gary. We said it ourselves when we went to Spurs away in the cup, and you had all of these senior players that were on their arses fucked because they've been overplayed. Yeah. You think, why not play a young, hungry player as opposed to a senior, exhausted player?
See what he does is his go-to situation in that scenario. What Moyes does is he reverts to 5 at the back and prizes as many first-team players into it as he can. You remember when we played a back 5 full of fullbacks the other week? Yeah. It's what he does.
Alisi's doing all right now. He's gone to Sunderland. He's doing
I think the only thing with the youngsters is obviously, remember, Longelo's only at Birmingham on loan, right? So he's getting some experience, right? And he'll come back. I think he'll stay. Elise, look, we've got a massive amount of centre backs at the club. He didn't know the injuries were going to happen, did he? And also, what you've got to remember is when you look at somebody like Ashby, we've all been called.
Hang on, whoa. Keith Knight's apologised, and he's bunged another £5 for me for a pint. Keith, you're a top man. Thank you very much.
I don't want that sympathy £5. I don't want it.
Getting drunk.
I do. I'm going to have 2
But then when you look at some of the youth players, I was going to bring this up earlier. When you look at someone like Ashby, right? We've been crying out for Moyes to play Ashby, but there's something not right with Ashby. I mean,
he's going, isn't he? He's going in Newcastle.
He's refusing.
I think he's had his head turned, isn't he? Because apparently he's got friends that play for Newcastle, so his head's been turned to go up there.
Yeah, because he's Scottish, isn't he? So Scotland and Newcastle are close to each other.
But at the same time, do you think it could be because the youth players are just not getting that much of a look?
No, because that's totally wrong.
I think he could.
I think you're right. I think he wants to play football.
I think he wants to play
football.
He was
told at some point he never got the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, if you look,
I think currently Ashby could possibly be our best right back.
But
as well.
I'm going to ask John now. I'm going to ask John. Right, John's boy, very very talented player. Freddie plays for Leyton Orient. Okay, John is good. John, all right. Listen,
it's only Leyton Orient. It's not that.
Listen. They've got a good academy, John. You know they have. Right, he's progressed through. He's 17. He's 18. He's got the opportunity. He's at a club at the moment. He could be at West Ham. They're not using him. He's wasting away. They're not using him. Or he's offered to go somewhere else and play. What are you going to say to him?
Go and play.
There you go.
But not for money, not for the wrong reasons.
But you don't know that he's doing it for that. You don't know that he's doing it for that. All we know, but John, the rhetoric that always gets pumped out from West Ham, from the rhetoric that gets pumped out from the likes of X and the likes of Sean, because it's that, like I say, that they do use these people.
Name dropping your friends.
No, but they get used to sort of pump a narrative as well. They do get given information, but every single time when there is a contract conflict with someone, even with Rice, it ends up greedy player. It's the greedy player won't sign their contract. Gary, is that true?
I don't watch I don't watch any social media stuff. You know I don't. So I'm not making my mind up with that. I'm looking at the here and now. They should be looking at someone like Declan Rice and thinking he came through the youth system. He bided his time, whatever.
He was in and he was never out.
He was world class, Nick, at a young age, wasn't he?
Not at a young age, he was world class.
Well, he's become world class very quickly.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, I think they should be looking closer to home. Look at Noble, who had his whole career at West Ham. I think a lot of these, like Kev said, I think a lot of these younger players now, they do get their heads turned, right?
No. I agree. I agree with that. But I think there's like this argument with it. I mean, Newcastle at the moment. I mean, my God, did we miss?
Fine.
Yeah, did we miss a trick on fucking Eddie Howe? Because there was there was one thing that I will say.
Definitely.
But there was one thing that I will say. But right, mate, I'm gonna have to let you go because I've had the third call from the United States, and I ain't phoning this bloke back because it cost me a fortune.
That's absolutely fine.
That's fine.
Boys. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Kev.
So I'll call you back. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Kev. Cheers, mate.
Right, hang on. We've got so many calls tonight.
Well, we've got someone from the US of A.
Hello, we've got someone from the US of A.
Oh, wow.
Cheers, mate.
Hello, it's Nick from Claret and Booze.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? It's Larry from Lexington, Kentucky.
Hello, Larry from Kentucky.
Larry.
Yeah, boy. Good man.
I'm the one giving the sorry-ass comments sometimes. They're a great show, guys.
Oh, thanks for calling him. There's no way I was calling you back. I didn't know how much it was going to cost me.
This one's all on me, mate. But, I want to go back to a lot of good things you guys are saying.
Yeah.
And my biggest concern is we give Paquetta a bad rap, and we give Scamacca a bad rap sometimes.
We do, mate. One second. We're not used to be bunging money. We've got Leeds disabled team. Oh, Joe, what? You are a lovely man. Thank you very much. And Kate Figor, who's just sent us £50 in Ugandan dollars. Thank you very much. $50. Thank you very much. Mexican.
Thanks, mate.
That is lovely. I don't know how much that is. I'm going to go and check after, though. Mate, you're an absolute gent. No, Thank you very much, Kate Figor. That is brilliant. Cheers. Lovely. Thank you very much. I don't know what currency that is. It's dollars, but I'm not too sure where.
US
dollars. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's
almost 1-to-1 now. It's almost 50 quid. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, mate. Go on. Carry on. Sorry to interrupt you.
No worries. But my biggest thing is I think we cannot we've got so much talent now, and I agree with I don't know who said it a little bit ago. Moyes does not know how to deal with this. He's got the talent now, and he does not have to execute. Today was the first time that I saw that we were aggressive moving forward on the pitch. If you saw in the first 10 minutes, we usually sit back. We had everybody up front attacking well, and I thought that was great. We were waiting for that, and it just didn't materialize. Now, with Paquetta and Scamacca, they're a different style of football than what our teammates are used to.
Yes, they are.
And Paquetta had a lot of bad passes in the first half. But you see what he's trying to do. It's just a different style. It's almost like when he does a quick kickback. It's just like a fancier style that the rest of the squad is just not used to. And I think we're going in the right direction, even though I know we're playing bad. And I don't know if Moyes is used to this style. He's old school, right?
Yes.
He's traditional. For him to allow our team to move up that far off the pitch that early in the match said something that he was worried. What do you guys think?
Definitely.
Gary, go on.
Well, yeah. I think you're absolutely right. Your observation about Paquetta is absolutely right. He Paquetta is on a different wavelength to all of the other
100%.
Players, and so is Scamacca. They're used to a different type of football. I think when we play a counter-attacking game and we're out of possession all the time, I don't think that suits them, right? I don't think that suits them. I think we need to be in possession, preferably with Paquetta playing deeper so that he gets more time on the ball and he can pull the strings, the creative strings from in the middle of midfield. What he's finding at the moment is he's rushing into playing the ball, and so he's getting it wrong a fair bit. At least he did today, because he's up front in that number 10 role, right? He's in that number 10 role just behind the striker. So you're seeing Scamacca getting crowded out by too many defenders. You're seeing Paquetta getting crowded out as well. You got to allow Paquetta a certain amount of freedom and put him in a role where we can take full advantage of him. And I think he's stunted at the moment by what Moyes is doing with him. Funny enough, at the end of the game today, for the last after 4 nails went on, Paquetta dropped back into that central midfield role to play alongside Rice, which is where we want to see him.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what I will say? The Palace game that obviously just been and gone. Right, we'll call you back, mate. Gary, you're not going to bed yet. This is. I'll call you back, whether that is. In the Palace game where he kind of got he got a lot of criticism in that game. All I noticed from Paquetta, which I always notice from him, because that guy, I've said it before, he is fuck's sake. He's perpetual motion. He does not stop moving. He's always, and in that Palace game, he was showing up constantly in pockets of space all the time. He was available. And the amount of times I was screaming, fucking someone just slide the ball through to him the whole time. He hardly ever gets the ball. He doesn't. And that for me, I think you're right. I think I do think they're on a different wavelength. And I think a lot of that stems from just the structure of the team, really. I mean, perhaps with Aguerd, once he's in, because when you look at our backline, not going to criticise Fabianski because Fabianski was heroic today. But if you look at Fabianski, you look at Zuma, you look at Dawson, you look at Souček, you've got 4 players there that are in the core, the heart, the spine of the team that are not footballers. They're not progressive passers. That's a problem if you're trying to play a passing game. I am sorry. You can have a couple of players like that, but you can't have 50% of your spine made up of players that are not cultured passers if you want to play a cultured passing game, surely.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. And the thing that I'm sorry, go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah. Cape Figor, yes, you can phone in, mate. Wait until this call's done. You can phone in. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Thanks for taking my call, mate. I just wanted to call in real quick from the U.S. saying,
listen,
we love you guys. We support the West Ham, and it's very frustrating. I don't know if the style that we need right now, the chemistry within the squad doesn't mesh.
It doesn't mesh.
And the team members
it doesn't mesh. Before you go, I'm going to ask you the same question. So, in regards to David Moyes, what do you think is going to happen before or during the World Cup break? And what would you like to happen with David Moyes?
That's a very tough question because what I saw today initially was that I saw that he was changing it. The team moving up the pitch was a big step for him. How many times? When's the last time that we saw in the first 10 minutes of a match that we had all our guys up front moving there, sitting on there and attacking them instead of going forward? We were already back in our box by that time.
It's been ages. It's been ages since we did that.
Because he's worried about his job. He could be worried about his job. Whatever. Yeah. I'm tired of Moyes. I'm not going to lie. We have talent right now. I think some of it's chemistry. Some of it's his old school. What I would like to see, really, he's probably has to go. He probably has to go. I hate to say that.
And it's a shame, it's a shame, isn't it? It is a shame, but it's just where we are.
Because he's brought, in the last couple of years, he's brought a lot of success to West Ham that we haven't had in a long time. So there was a respect. So he had to get out of jail free pass, I'd call it.
Yeah.
But right now we have the talent. We have to have someone that can come into the team and lead and motivate our team to mesh together. Because there's no way in the world with the team that we have assembled, we can't be in the top 10 at least. And that's, I'm sorry to say, but you know what I mean? We should be fighting relegation right now.
No, we shouldn't. There is no way.
I don't take second manager easily because, you know, especially what he's done for us, but something's got to change. And we have the team members, in my opinion, that we can do something. I like our team. We're going to cheer for him, but we just got to do more, man.
Absolutely, mate. And yeah, no, I completely agree. Now, listen, if you are ever over from the US, from Kentucky, and you're coming over to a West End game, make sure you tap us up, and we'll look after you. We've done the same with Danny Martinez. So whenever you come over, make sure you reach out to us, mate, and we'll come and take you for a nice English curry.
Yeah, and we'll get you ticket. We might be playing Barnsley at the time, but at least you can come.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, that was lovely to talk to you, mate. It really was.
Thanks, Larry.
Well, I appreciate it, mate. I love your show. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons. Good
man.
Come
on, you Irons.
Good man.
Come on.
What a nice bloke. Yeah.
Can I just say, we're having a chat about football, talking to Larry from Kentucky, and there's people in the chat having a debate about biscuits.
Is there?
What are they playing at? What are they playing at?
Dark chocolate digestives. Yeah, I'm with Trod. I'm with Trod. That is my biscuit of choice.
I'll tell you what, that's my biscuit of choice. I'll tell you what's I like just plain digestives. You know, a big packet of plain digestives. I could destroy them.
That's boring, though. That's boring.
I do like a dark chocolate one.
Yeah, but you have to dip them, man. You dip them fuckers and you say they break off. It ruins your tea.
No, timing is everything. You're rubbish at dipping. That's your problem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you're like the David Moyes of biscuits, Nick would say.
This is true. This is true. Right, we have got a couple of calls. We've got to phone them back. We must go through these callers, right? So, Gary, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to suffer. You're gonna have to stay away.
I've got to step away for a few minutes, right? I'll be back.
Go on.
He's gonna have a kip. He's gonna have a kip.
Hang on.
I agree with Budgie. Obnobs are the best.
Right, John, this is your one. I don't know who it is. I'm going to bring him straight in.
Is Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake?
It's cake. It's a cake.
They got done for tax, didn't they?
Yeah. Hello there, it's Nick from Claret and Bowes.
Oh, who is it? It's quite exciting, really. I don't know who's on the phone.
Hello, what are you wearing? This is gone. I'm not surprised. Right, next one.
You're probably asleep. You phoned an hour ago. You're probably in bed and you're saying what you're wearing. He's probably saying, who was that? Was that?
Hang on.
Everyone's gone to bed, son.
He's trying to phone back. Who asked what he was wearing?
Oh.
No, wrong one. Hang on. Fuck's sake.
Nick, you're not very good at this, mate.
No, what? Oh, we've done well tonight. I don't know how many calls we've had. We've had loads, haven't we?
Jaffa cakes are dead. See, the thing is with Eastside.
No, they're not.
Eastside's
Hello there, it's Nick from Claret and Bowes.
Hi, mate. How you doing?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. What's your name, mate? Where are you from?
My name is Alex. I'm originally from Essex, but I'm living in Bournemouth area now.
Alex from Alex from Essex.
Yeah, it's called
that's
that.
What you are. That's what we are. Well, Alex, I'm going to hand you over to John for 2 seconds while I go for a wee.
Oh,
John, over to you. John, over to you. Go on, one sec. I'll be back in a minute, mate. One minute.
You all right, Alex?
Yeah, how's it going, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. You? What do you think of the game today, mate?
It's tricky because I've been Moyes out for a long time, but then it's because it's been really crap performances. It feels awkward having this sort of conversation after what actually was a much better performance.
Yeah.
I suppose.
But did you think it was an improved performance today? Was you happy with the performance then?
Yes and no. It was much better. I was much happier. I wasn't happy he put Souček on in the first place, but when he made that sort of substitution for Fornals, I was like, that's a much better, more intelligent sort of substitution than he normally would make. He'd normally
more
try and close up and
more proactive. I mean, did you say you've been Moyes out? Did you say you've been Moyes out for a while?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of these ones where I think, like everyone else, I was hoping that we'd sort of outgrow him in a more natural way. It's a shame it's taken this sort of performance to get us where we are now. But
no, of course.
Yeah, I hope we'd move on from him in a better circumstance. But yeah, definitely, almost all of this season, it's been pretty clear that I think he's probably done all he can for us. Yeah, that's probably about it, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think, like me, I've been Moyes in throughout, and it's like for me, I've always had that element of hope that he would change, and Gary's probably to some extent a little bit similar. But when you see today, it does make you think, why has he not gone for it a little bit more in games? Why not? Why have we not been on the front foot? I know it didn't work out today.
That's the thing. But it's like Larry just said on the call just now, right? We've been waiting for him, and I've said it in these daily shows that I've been doing, right? Been waiting for him to attack a team. I said the other day, if we weren't going to attack Blackburn in midweek, who we're going to attack? And so it surprised me the way we set up today, right? And he's a fool to himself for not doing that earlier and trying to integrate those players. Because, like a transition to me is you need a plan and you need to know where you're going in a transition. But there doesn't seem to be a plan, a cohesive plan. He seems to have just kept the same system and tried to shoehorn those new players into the existing system, and I don't think that works. You got to build. You buy a £50 million Brazilian superstar, right? You got to build the team around him, and the same goes for the star striker as well. You got to change the way you play, in my mind, and I don't see that change.
No, I agree. I think there's only been one sort of clear transition ever since Moyes has been around, and it's been the transition from flair players into boring players. You saw it before now.
No, it's true though, isn't it? It's true.
Really stylish sort of like technically really gifted player, and basically turned him into like a workhorse. And then it looks like he wants Paquetta to sort of become the same. He's desperate for Benrahma to quit doing all the stylish stuff and just be more of a defensive oriented player. So Yeah, that's the only sort of transition I see for any form of player that we have, which is just to become less beautiful in the way you play and become much more of a defensive workhorse.
Yeah, it's like Fornals. Look at Fornals. He was a flair attacking player, and he's literally. I know he's getting a couple of games now where he's coming on late and he's allowed to do that role. But when he starts a game, he's another defender, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I agree. Go on, Gal.
Tell us the. I don't know if you've had this question or not yet, Alex, because I stepped away for a minute. But you know, before you go, let's give you the question that we've given to everybody, and that is, what do you think should happen, and to Moyes, and what do you? Well, sorry, Nick, say the question.
Right, David Moyes. Listen, what do you think is going to happen over now or the World Cup break? What would you like to happen? And also, if you had a choice of manager, who would it be?
That's it.
So, what I would like to happen would be for him to go this evening, or you know, in the next couple of days, and we get someone much better. I'm still sort of in the camp that believes, as much as I'd love to have someone like Poch, I just don't think he'd do it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But someone of that sort of quality, I'm fearful that the board is just going to back him. I think, I'm like, sort of being the pessimist I am, I think they're going to continue to hold on to him for a while, and we're going to sort of possibly miss a boat in terms of getting a manager in when we have more games available to turn it around. But
exactly. We've got 20. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. We've got 23 games to go at the moment, and 6 weeks for a new manager to be identified, brought in, and have them time to they'll have a few friendlies. We're playing Fulham. We're playing someone else as well, right? It just seems like an opportunity missed if they don't do it now.
Whoa. We're playing friendlies. What are you talking about?
Playing friendlies. We've got two friendlies.
There's a schedule. It's a pre-season, John. It's all booked in.
Have I missed that?
Yeah, we've got Fulham and we've got one other. I can't remember the other.
Hang on. Are you going to be able to go to these friendlies?
Don't know, probably.
Why? Why not?
How can you have a fucking friendly in December? This is ridiculous.
December the 17th, I think, is.
I'm going to be watching England slagging Southgate off. That's what I'm going to be doing.
I didn't know they was doing friendlies.
He's just like Moyes, isn't he? He's just like Moyes.
He is. Southgate out.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a conversation with some friends last weekend who they're Arsenal fans. One of them's a Southampton fan, and they were like, "Oh, they couldn't see why I was Moyes out." And I said, "Well, what do you think of Southgate?"
I'll get the same thing. I'll get the same thing.
Yeah. I said literally, list me everything you don't like about Southgate, and they said, "Oh, he sets up defensively. He doesn't pick people in form."
Yeah, but
I said everything you listed is the same. It's the same as Moyes.
Alex, let me interject. Yes. Sorry. The England national team, I think, has been to 4, maybe 5 major tournament semi-finals, and Southgate's took us to 2 of them. So is he a failure? Is he that bad? I'm just saying, like.
Yes, because he had the easy fixtures, mate. He had the easy fixtures.
Listen. And those tournaments opened up like the fucking Red Sea for us to get to them.
They did. Tournament football.
They did. No, the minute he faces anyone of note, it goes wrong. It does. It does.
I've started an argument here.
Don't let Alex phone again.
So anyway, what you're saying is, Alex, in short, Moyes out, Poch in.
Ideally, obviously Thomas Frank would be another good one.
Do you know what? Do you know what? The more I think about it, because I had an argument. I was trying to make this point earlier on. I want Poch. I do. But there was I can't remember what channel it was, but they basically said Pochettino. What worries them about Pochettino is the fact that he's a bit loose. What they're saying is if he came to West Ham for a year and he did really well, and someone else gave him a better offer, he'd be off. And then what they did, what they did was they made the comparison with Thomas Tuchel, and they said that is not the case with Thomas Tuchel. If Thomas Tuchel came in, he would see Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel, what's his name?
His name's Thomas Tuchel.
My only issue with Tuchel.
No, but they said if Tuchel comes in, Tuchel he will see the project out. You know, it's not saying he'll never move on again. Yeah.
I agree, and I like Tuchel, but the only fear I have with him is it may just be rumours or whatever, but it appears that every time he's left the club, he's left it like in disarray, like in terms of like the backroom staff, like the players.
Was Chelsea Heath's fault? Was Chelsea Heath's fault though? I mean, they had problems higher up, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
No, but apparently Dortmund, PSG as well. Like apparently he's got a bit of a history. Again, I don't know this for a fact. I've just heard. Apparently he's got a bit of a history where it doesn't end amicably. It ends with quite a big rebuild needing to happen after his departure. Yeah. I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
I haven't.
But I think I think every and the only other argument is, which people will provide, is that Tuchel isn't necessarily, and I don't get this because people say, oh, he's a defensive manager, he's this, that, the other. what he is he's a winner. In the mold of the likes of Mourinho, he's not Mourinho. He's not pragmatic for the sake of it. But what he does is he sets his team up to win and be successful. Now, don't get me wrong. Now listen, John. What I'm going to say is, if you are going to be that way, the only way it can ever be acceptable to be a pragmatic manager that bores the life out of fans is if you bring success. And that means winning things. Because if you're not going to give the supporters entertainment, you got to give them wins. You got to give them something. Otherwise, what are you? You're Burnley. You're Stoke.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
the only thing. The only thing I'd say about Tuchel is I might let him manage my club, but I would never let him look after my children. That's what I'm going to say about that.
He is. He does look like he's got someone locked in his basement, doesn't he?
Yes.
He looks very untrustworthy.
Right. Anyway, lovely to talk to you, mate. Thank you very much for calling in. I'm good. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna leave the line open. Hopefully, Kate Figor, who's just bought me a lamb rogan Josh and pilau rice.
Bought you a lamb?
He's going to call in. Yeah.
What?
With that 50 quid that he sent in.
Why is it? What are you doing with that money? You must be counting it.
Yeah, I know. But once the exchange rate and all that's coming in and tax and that sort of the other, you know, it's kind of.
You don't know where he sent it from. You don't know where he sent it from.
He's like Scrooge McFuck, isn't he?
Someone sent me £2 last week. And I ain't seen it. Where's the £2 gone?
Right. Okay. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much for calling in, mate. Make sure you call back in.
Cheers, Alex.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Right, let's wait for Kate Figor. Go through some comments, John. Right, Kate Figor, phone in.
What? John McFadden reckons he sent you 10 pence.
Oh, thanks, mate.
That $50 was about 10 pence exchange rate. Get Thomas Frank in. I can't see.
Yes.
I can't see.
But do you not think that Thomas? Because the more I think about it, right, and we talk about the big names. We talk about. I do. I talk about Poch. I talk about Tuchel. I think that Thomas Frank is one of those managers. Do you know when Arteta went to Arsenal?
Yeah.
And I think it was actually Gonzo on Hamish Chat when I was watching that, and he said, because at that time we had an opportunity to go for Arteta as well. And he was a risk, but what Arteta said, what Gonzo said was, he said, "You have one opportunity to get a manager like that, just one." I think Thomas Frank. I think he could be that. I think he could be that man.
I just can't. I would love him. I'm not saying no, but I just can't see him leaving what he's built up there. I genuinely can't.
You like his hair, don't you? That's what you like. You like his hair, don't you? No, Thomas Frank.
No, but I'm just saying. Why is he? Eastside has said, John, isn't it? This geezer, right, is just on me all the time. The thing is, I live about 5 minutes from his house. I know where he lives. I know where you live. I know where he lives.
Game round there, John. Game round.
Frankie's happy where he is. That's right. That's what we said earlier. Potter was happy at Brighton, but when Chelsea come knocking, whether we like it or not, he's not going to turn it down. That's the difference.
He's not. He's not.
What's this one? Mandy G. We have a good relationship with Brentford. It would cost a fortune. Why do we have a good relationship with him?
Oh, Sullivan ain't got a good relationship with anyone.
Why have we got a good relationship with him?
Oh, fucking Monster Munch fingers. He ain't got a good relationship with anyone in football at all. Let's phone this last caller. Go on, Karen going for him.
Last caller.
Because I've just got to phone one back.
Because we're coming up to 3 hours now. Let's make it the last one.
Gary. It's fine.
I'll go to bed, Nick. Knackered.
He is 65.
Hello, it's Nick from Clarendon Bulls.
Hello.
How are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Dave Suka.
You're Davor Suka from Croatia.
I loved him.
Yes.
Good man. Go on. What would you like to talk about, Davor?
Gotta say, Devil, you're a bit disappointing when you joined.
Is this Nick?
This is Nick.
Oh, you right?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, we were just watching you on YouTube.
That's good. Come on, your name's not Devor. So what's your name? Come on, talk to me. Tell me what your name is.
Oh, David.
Dave. All right, good man. Dave,
Oh,
what would you like to talk about?
Just like how shit West Ham is. At the moment.
Moyes is at the moment. Yes, we are.
Do you think he's going to get the sack?
Do you think? No. Well, the rumor is that he's going to get the sack. Well, look, I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know what's going on with him. I think it'll be a miracle if he survives. I'll be honest. I don't know that he's gonna survive it. But what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think what he said about after the game.
I didn't hear it. What were the comments after the game? You said this, Gary. What did he say after the game?
Yeah. What particularly wound you up, Dave? What did he say to annoy you after the game?
He said, well.
How old is Dave?
I don't know. I think Dave might be on the line. Right, come on, Dave.
All right, Dave.
Come on, Dave. Tell us.
Come on, Dave. Leave it till after the show. Come on. Come on, tell me what you think is going to happen, Dave. Come on.
I'm going to get out of you, Dave. Go on.
He's got mates in the background cracking up. Look.
People throwing on a wind-up. Come on, Dave. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to tell me what you think is going on.
Yeah, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Dave's cracking one out.
He's gone. He's gone. Right. He has.
Hello, Dave. Gone. Bye, Dave.
Keith Knight. Keith Knight sent us another $5. Keith, stop sending us money. We was only joking earlier on.
Dave's calling back. Is that Dave?
No, this is someone from the United. This might be Kate Figor.
Oh, for fuck's sake, what is going on here?
Hello, it's Nick from Claret and Booze.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm very good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. For some reason, I couldn't call you on the mobile, so I've switched to the house phone.
Is this Kate Figor?
Yeah.
Oh, you generous man. Thank you very much for that donation earlier on. Whereabouts are you calling from?
Pennsylvania.
I'm going to use this to calculate how much money you've sent me afterwards.
What's his name? What's his actual name?
What's your name?
My name's Ben.
Ben, lovely to talk to you, Ben. What would you like to talk about, mate?
A few things. It's really weird, actually, because I've got a delay on it. I'm watching you on the television, and everything's delayed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the other room so I can hear myself.
Yeah, you've literally got to stop watching the television because it won't be in sync.
Yeah, it's always the same.
You've just got to pretend you're on the phone to us and not watching us, if that makes sense.
You're going to hear Nick twice when he says something.
That's right.
No,
I'm out in the other room now. I've got a few points, actually. Firstly, lost a good friend of mine a couple of years ago. I don't know if any of you guys were familiar with him. His name was Budgie. His real name was Gordon Samuels, related to Martin Samuels.
Is that not the Budgie that's on our group on our that we speak to on here?
No, he died a couple of years ago.
Not be him, can it?
Yeah. I just wanted to shout out because he was like mega West Ham fan, and I'm sure some of your viewers knew him, and they probably didn't know that he'd passed. Yeah. But that's not why I called. Reason why I called.
I'm going to raise a glass to Budgie. There you go.
Yeah, Budgie.
Thank you, man. I was for Moyes up until when Cornet got injured, because to me the obvious solution would have been to put Antonio in that position.
Yeah.
And have him running up the wings in replacement of Cornet. Also, I think in the middle it should either be Fornells or Benny in the middle behind the striker. And Susik has no business being there in the middle. I don't understand why Moyes completely, carries on with 2 defensive midfielders when we've got Flair in the team.
Yeah.
Surely we only need 1 holding midfielder.
It makes no sense. We've been saying it for so long.
And if he wants to use Susek, then put him up the top, because who knows, he might get a lucky header, or he might be able to pass on for Gamaka.
Yeah.
He's got options.
And I said enough is enough.
Yeah.
It seems like he just doesn't know how to take advantage of the players. It's like it's not that our team isn't good enough. It just seems the decisions that he's making, he's just so stubborn.
Yeah.
He's got options in the central midfield, right? He can either drop Paquetta deep and play, but that could be a 3.
I've just lost the bloke.
Oh, is he gone?
Oh,
I'm going to call him back. He's going to cost himself a fortune. Hang on.
Incorrect number.
Oh,
Please check the number and try again.
Kate Fiegel, phone back.
Well, I ain't being funny, Nick. You just thought his dead mate was in the chat. I mean, I'm surprised he stayed on the line.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, Ben, call back, mate. I don't know what happened. I had another call. I dumped that, but I've dumped you by mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say there was I listened to the Joey Cole podcast with when he interviewed Declan Rice today, and it was really interesting, especially one particular piece on there where Joey Cole said to Declan, "There must be a player in world football who you model your game on, right?" And he said, "Yeah, it's Tony Cruz." He said, "I model my game on Tony Cruz. I love the way he plays and everything else, right?" And he said, and Joey Cole said to him, "It shows how far you've come, because now you've got other players modeling their game on you." And he cited the example of Flynn Downs. He said, "When I watch Flynn Downs," this is Joey Cole, "when I watch Flynn Downs, he looks like the spitting image of you." He said he plays in exactly the same way. And then Deck turned around and he said, "Yeah, that's true. And I'll tell you what, I love playing with Flynn because it frees me up to go forward."
Everyone, listen. I've only just noticed that fucking Budgie's in the chat. All right, I'm getting mocks because I've said, was it Budgie? I've not seen Budgie in the chat tonight. I only know one Budgie.
Honestly, I almost had me, when you said that, I almost had my head in my hands. I
didn't know there was another Budgie.
That was a 40 Towers moment. It was a bit a bit awkward.
I know it's not funny, but Ben, sorry mate, I'm trying to call you back, but I can't call you back. I don't know what happened now, but yeah, we'll stay on the line for you for a little bit because call back in, mate. Call back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
So I thought that was fascinating, and it kind of reinforces the opinion that Downs will be the successor to Declan Rice, but it also reinforces that Deck really, what we've all said, he's happy to sit. That's exactly what he said about Downs. Downs is happy to sit and let me roam forward, and that's the way we've all read it, right? So it's just reinforcing that is actually a fact.
Yeah. I think it's interesting as well. I think Declan Rice is still so humble as well.
Oh, he really is.
And I think the way that he's so humble is portrayed in how he continuously plays for us even today. Because if you're humble, you still think, I'm playing for this club. This is a big deal. I'm not going to just down tools, think about the World Cup. Because as we've said today, could have been, a lot of pundits in the week have been saying a lot of players will hold back and all that because of the World Cup coming up. He certainly didn't hold back. Absolutely not. And I think, he just comes across brilliantly. People have questioned his captaincy and his age and all that in the past. But, when he leaves West Ham, which will probably be this summer, I don't know if he can go down as a club legend, but officially, I think he would.
I think he would. I mean, he's given us, this will be, even if he leaves in the summer, he's given us 6 years of his senior career. That is a big chunk of his senior career, right? So, and he's stayed with us when there were big clubs after him for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Keith picked up on it today at the full-time whistle. He was sitting on the ball. He did look broken today because
he gave everything, didn't he?
Yeah, but you got to think he's going into the World Cup, and as much as he's going to go into the World Cup and he's going to enjoy his World Cup, he's still in the back of his mind going to have, I've got to go back to West Ham and save our season.
I know.
And that's a big deal, mate. That's a big deal.
I agree. Let's wrap it up, Nick, because it's nearly 3 hours. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, listen, Ben. Make sure you call back in on the next show. I've tried to phone you back several times, but it's not working. So I feel terrible about that. I do apologise.
If anyone in the chat would like to become our full-time secretary for these sort of calls,
because I'm shit.
Crap at it, then let us know.
It just makes me laugh though. The way he gets frustrated, it's brilliant.
We've had so many calls tonight; it's ridiculous. But it's been brilliant. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's loads that I haven't been able to call back either. That's really good. Thank you all so much. You've it's been therapeutic tonight. I've really enjoyed it. And thank you for the donations as well. That's really good. I feel really shitty that I've just cut Ben off. I didn't mean to do that. That's a bit shit.
Disgusting behaviour.
I know, no, not good. But yeah, like I say, if you enjoyed it, drop a like on the show, and we'll come back. Probably not tomorrow. Oh, I don't know. We'll see how we feel tomorrow. We'll see if we got time.
I don't think we've got much to talk about. So unless something happens,
I'm not
with
back
Moyes,
tomorrow.
No, if something happens with Moyes, then let's get back on, right? But other than that, just to let you all know, we're going to be doing some World Cup shows. What we're going to do, like one a week, sort of a booze up. We carry on doing the booze up on the Sunday night generally. But then we'll, if there's a decent England game, the group games are crap, right? So we don't really want to talk much about them. But as the tournament moves on and hopefully England do well, then we do some specials around the England games. I love a World Cup, me.
Yeah, no. Well, I do. I'm getting excited about it now. Do you know what I'm excited about? 6 weeks away from West Ham at the moment. That's kind of what I'm excited about. That's pretty good at the moment.
To be honest, I'm just glad there ain't any West Ham game this week or next week.
There he is. There's Ben. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. And make sure you do call in next time. Make sure you do call in, mate.
I'm excited to see Declan on the world stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I hope he shines, and I hope he shows the world what he's about.
Yeah.
I think he will. I think, there was some comment. I listened to a call on TalkSport, just sort of digressing quickly about whether they think that this is Southgate's last tournament, and they said whatever happens, it is. They said if he wins, that's his last tournament.
Yeah,
if he bows out early, it's his last tournament. If he goes quite a long way, but sort of chokes, it's his last tournament. He's not going to go any further. So this is Southgate's last hurrah. So maybe we should with this one. But, you got
to support him. Got to support him. Got to support him. Got to support the lads. Looking forward to it. Come on, England.
Lovely. And listen, in the chat, you've been fantastic tonight. You've been distracting me talking about fucking biscuits all night long. I don't know what went on now. That was good. So yeah, all good. Gary, do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, no, brilliant. Thanks, everybody. It's been a really good show, long show, and I'm really tired. I need to go to bed. But we'll be doing our daily rambles all throughout the summer. We'll intersperse it with some England material as well, just to keep it going. I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about with West Ham. Thanks for joining. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Claret and Booze, give us a like and hit the bell notification icon. Until next time, bring this mega show to an end. See you soon.
Good show tonight.
Very good show. See you soon. And come on, you irons.
Yeah, you irons.